What is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of The Fan in the End. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel. The man to my right, the man on the mic, Mr. Marvin Powell III, and always right beneath me, the big man himself, Mr. Ben Troupe. Fellas, how are we feeling today?
Man, always good, man. Always good, man. Football season is over, so the coping has already began. But we'll make it. We'll make it. We'll make
it. Yeah, we always find ways to make do and do our thing, and always having fun here on The Fan in the End. But before I get into it, as always, this episode is brought to you by Fight Wax. Fight Wax is the premium skincare for all your athletes and active members of your household. Helps, treats cuts, swelling, scrapes, abrasion, rejuvenates and restores stressed skin. Customers are used for soreness, stiffness, recovery. Designed for athletes of all active lifestyles. Has an ultra silky, non-greasy feel, deep hydration for everyday skincare. Helps fight dry skin. Customers have used for eczema, psoriasis, and other skin disorders. Again, make sure you check out the soap stuff for your pets. Make sure you guys are using our code there right underneath. That's South15FW when placing your orders. The merch store is launching within the next few days. If they do have some stuff on hand, if you guys want to grab a hat, a hoodie, a t-shirt, whatever, just reach out to Fight Wax or Lincoln himself and get yourself geared up and have some fun. But speaking of which, obviously, as you guys were just talking about, football season is over. We're in that lull, that downtime. We get a little depressed here on some things because it's not as moving when it comes to the football season. I know Marvin's is getting a double time because no college football right now, no pro football right now. We damn sure don't want to talk about the USFL. So.
No, but it's a good thing, man, that the NFL has become a 24/7, 365 type of business, man. I like the fact that we have football. You have football season, you have the postseason, then you have everything dealing with the All-Star games, and then you have the draft, all the draft stuff, and then you have all the mini camp stuff, and so in the last, decade or so plus, more than that, it's definitely been a year-round thing. But, I'm just that guy. I love waking up on the weekends, man, and football on Saturday, football on Sunday. And then as you get through the season, you got football on every single day except for like once or twice, maybe not Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But I love it, man. I love it. 24/7 football. I watch here in Georgia. I watch a lot of high school football on Friday nights. I enjoy that. It's always, top talent and really well-coached teams for the high school level. And I just love being in that, so always, college football and NFL, when we get to the playoffs, get a little sad because I realize it's almost over. You know what I'm saying? I mean that, dude. It's just, I'm one of them type of nerds like that, man.
I seen this meme and it so explains you. It's like literally like all the college football, and they show you like college game. They show like it's literally like all the football shows, and it's like a X-ray of your head. I'm like that's Marvin right there, right? True. I'm gonna send it to you when we get off here. But obviously we're in the off season, so we get to kind of talk about a bunch of different things. Everyone was so upset about the Super Bowl halftime performance this year, so I want to get your guys' thoughts, right? And not on the halftime performance. If you could pick one artist, dead or live, whatever, that you would like to perform next year, who are you going to pick? Are we going to go back old school? We going to dig up Prince from the dead? Like, who would you like to see perform next year's halftime performance? Ben, let's start off with you and then go to Marvin.
Ooh, I get to pick one person, man. That's tough. You know what? Oh, y'all don't know. It's a dude. His name is Toby Nwigwe, right? This dude, he's from South by Southwest. He's from Houston, right? He was a former football player. I think he's Nigerian. The way he does his music, he does like a little bit of rap. He's a rapper / R&B. I would love to have Toby Nwigwe because here's the thing. even to talk about Bad Bunny, right? Do you know how many Hispanic people live in America? They look. My children, I got a daughter that's part Puerto Rican. I got a daughter that's Italian and Peruvian. They was yes. I mean, I had to turn the subtitles on. But it was to say he ain't kill it. Did y'all not see Pacheco? The starting running back for Kansas. That's him at the end with that Puerto Rican flag. That's Isaiah Pacheco. They had Ronald Acuna. Here's the thing about the halftime show now, right? You can't please everybody. What people want in the halftime show now, which I think they got, I would say Toby and Weekway is a guy that I would definitely want to see. But a guy who I know would straight kill it is Chris Brown. He will kill it. He don't know how to do nothing else. He don't know how to do, but I think Kendrick did an incredible job when he did it, man. Right? I think there's been a lot of good shows, but I think you want to blend it. How do I blend two artists? So, give me a man. I know who I want. Man, bring out Andre 3000. Let's Outkast. Let the Dungeon family come out there and do what they do. I want to see Andre. Today's generation of kids have no clue how nice Andre 3K really is. They don't know. I would love to see him and Big Boy and the Dungeon family get out there and do what they do, because he's gonna bring out T.I. He's gonna bring out Ludacris, right? He's gonna bring out Young Jeezy, right? He's gonna bring out. So hey, let's have a party. But I'm not in charge. I think Jay-Z might be in charge of who pick. Big Boy, I got it. Yeah, Big Boy, Andre 3K, Ludacris, Pastor Troy, who am I missing? Jeezy. Oh man, what's his name? What's the big dude? He's the same. What's his name? I can't think his name right now. But I would love. I'm a down south Georgia boy, so I would love to have like a whole down. I would love to, the state of Georgia just take over the whole thing, and whoever they want to bring out as special guests, they can do that. So, Toby, I love you. I don't know if they'll book you, because Toby gonna want to get paid. They don't pay you for the Super Bowl, but I would love to have a whole Atlanta music fest. Like, just let these cats from the ATL and surroundings, let them come out there and kill it. Because I know they ain't gonna let them do it but one time. After that's it. Y'all ain't coming back. But Andre 3K, Big Boy, T.I., Usher, Ludacris, Lil Jon, Jermaine Dupri. Let's do that. Let's see if we can do that. People that got a problem with the language are just haters. It's art, music, a vibe. Since we do need to understand the language to appreciate. Yeah. I mean, hey, man. At the end of the day,
I didn't have a problem with it, but like I stopped honestly paying attention to the halftime show long ago. That's when I go to the bathroom, go get something to eat, make sure the dinner's good for everyone in the house. Like, it doesn't matter to me who plays it, what language they're singing it in. I'm numb to it. Like I get why people are irritated, but it don't mean anything to you. Marvin, what about you? If you get to control the halftime show next year, who do you want to perform?
Well, let's back up a second. The fact that you had a certain amount of people who just were angry at the performance of Bad Bunny. I'm not going to call anybody out or put somebody's name out there, but I had a Facebook altercation with one of my ex-teammates who basically came out and said that it was a horrible show because nobody was white and they didn't speak English. And that's exactly what the dude said. And, I felt some kind of way about that. And I feel like, you got a lot of people out there, a lot of football fans who really are racist and don't realize that they're racist. And I mean that. I mean that genuinely. Like, people who don't have the self-awareness.
Lady Gaga was white. Did he forget somebody?
Dude, so my thing is just like, for people to think that a person of color, and it goes to the mentality of people thinking that if you're not white, you're not American. That's crazy. If you're bilingual or if you're Spanish first, then you can't be American. This isn't Japan where everybody looks the same and homogeneous. This isn't China. This is America. It was made by people who didn't speak English. You know what I mean? People of color, people who came, whether you came through Ellis Island or you are one of the unfortunate to be enslaved. This country was built by people, by many people who were of color, and English wasn't their first language. And we still celebrate these cultures in the subcultures of America. Chinatown, you go to Little Italy, go to Miami. These are all these people are American, regardless of where the people came from. And it's such an ignorant mentality, and for people to feel threatened because the biggest star in the world went on stage and sang all the songs that are the biggest songs in the world. It's a halftime.
You want a Grammy, Marvin, for album of the year? No, but hold on. Somebody just said something. I'm gonna let you get back to it, Marvin. Let me kill a myth real fast. We are not a We are not a melting pot. You know how we end up melting? Melting pot means it's melted. Everything in its consistency. Everything is one way. No, we are a stew of people. Like that's a Marvin right there. Oh, that's a Steven right there. It's like the melting pot means I want to have to hey man, what is that? But I think you make a great point, Marv, where you're saying, look, let's just call it what it is. We ain't talking about everybody, but to say, hey man, if you got pigment in your skin, you ain't American. Say so. And look, and we got to get Puerto Rico is a part of America. I know people don't. I know that's hard for people to feel like what, like he should have got an American artist. Well, he is an American artist. What? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. People, I think, people just really lack self-awareness, man. And they say things that they think are just normal and okay to say, but it's racist when you think about it. And it's really wild, man. The reaction that Bad Bunny got was just insane. And it shows how ignorant people are. Nevertheless, if you wanted me to pick, man, I would probably, my favorite artist is Jay.
You gonna get Hov to come out of retirement?
Yeah. He's my favorite artist. Whitney and Mariah are my favorite singers. Rest in peace, Whitney. But I'll probably have Hov come out there and do his thing. If you ask me,
I'm gonna go completely against the grain.
Come out with Public Enemy.
I'm about to say, hold on.
There you go.
We gonna do that, and we gonna do this whole coming out. You know what I'm saying? That go. That go Public Enemy. Look, hey, that go KRS-One. That go Ice Cube. Let's just cause for everybody saying, hey man, everybody be trying to do political statements or whatever. No, dude, culture is culture. That's not a political statement. Like people have different realities in America. Like people be saying, hey man, it's not that bad. I go, yeah. That's like telling a pregnant woman, come on. That baby is not that. Push that baby. You cannot minimize people's experiences. But the thing about it is now in America, it's got to look a certain way, be a certain way. I said, no. And guess what? You know what? And I could be wrong. I think Bad Bunny was not going to perform in all Spanish. I don't think he was going to do that. But he saw what people were saying. He's like, oh, okay, that's how y'all feel? Got it. Turn them subtitles on then to know what I'm saying. And from what I got from my daughter's mom, they were like, "Oh, he killed it." Like he shut because Bad Bunny knows the likelihood of me getting to do this again is probably very slim. So while I got my moment, let's bring awareness to South America. Let's bring awareness to all these South American countries. It's like because what do you? That would be like saying, hey, Marvin Powell III, why did you only talk about your daddy at his enshrinement speech? Who the hell am I supposed to talk about? It's like, what do you expect me to do? Like, I got a moment because Kendrick, he killed it 2 years ago. If you didn't know, shut it all the way down. And like I say, I do think it's the biggest moment in sports when you talk about it. But to the lady who was at the game, looking at Kid Rock saying I'm not, you've already supported it. If I go to the game and I do like this, you're there. Like you know how crazy you look.
You know what you signed up for?
To buy
you don't know if your nose to spite your face. God, Marvin.
And a lot of this is really the timing of what's happening in our culture with ICE and these raids and them running through the streets acting like the Nazi Gestapo. Going door to door to people. I think a lot of that aligns with the timing of the Bad Bunny Spanish thing. Because listen, if they would have got that opera singer Andrea Bocelli, who just sings in Italian, people would have been like, "Oh, that was so beautiful. It was so amazing." You know what I'm saying? So this is just. I think there are so many times in current events in our time when people jump out the box with their feelings and emotion, like they did with Bad Bunny, and they don't realize that they're screaming and just letting people know that they racist, they ignorant, and that they highly prejudiced toward race and culture. It is, and that you got people who just think that if you're not white and you don't speak English, then you're not American. People believe that. There are a lot of people who really believe that, and it comes out, and it's sad because these people don't understand the history of our country, and it's the whole Bad Bunny thing to me was just a horrible look for America, and it's just America telling on itself to be so offended that in a musical performance that is an entertainment show, you're upset because the featured artist is Latin American and speaking his native language. It's mind-blowing that as a culture we can't be cultured and just enjoy the show.
Because we lack it.
I think you guys both made great points on this. I think Marvin's right. There are a lot of people that are showing who they really truly were when this thing came out. As I said, like I literally, it doesn't bother me if you're singing Spanish, if you're singing Italian, whatever. I already said I'm with you. I'm with Ben. Dude, bring back like Wu-Tang Clan and have them all perform and do their solos and do their group stuff. Like I would love to see something like that. And even more to where people are upset about, they're going out and saying like, oh, well, we haven't had a country singer in over 10 years. I'm like, I don't care.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I don't care if it's country, if it's rock and roll, if it's heavy metal, if it's hip hop, if it's soul. Like I don't care as long as it's a good performance and they have things that get everyone engaged. That's it. Go ahead.
No, Steven, when y'all won y'all first Super Bowl, what was that song they was playing when they came out? Who was that guy? Was that Meek Mill that Philadelphia was playing? It's like it's
dreams and nightmares. Yep.
Don't you understand that if you have no culture, you're going to criticize it when you see it? Culture is natural. You think that a Hispanic kid, when Victor Cruz used to score, what did he do? Oh, he did this. That's his. It's like people act. This is not new. This has been this, and it's gonna keep. I lived in New York when they used to do the Puerto Rican Day Parade. They used to shut this. They're not doing it to say, look at us. They're saying, hey, man, we here. Like, we're celebrating. I was living in Jersey when Colombia won in the World Cup. They had the street I lived in, they had to shut the whole street down. When culture really shows up, people got a problem. Because people are going, wait a minute. Let me show. And I'm going to speak for New York and New Jersey. If your parents are Nigerian, or if your parents are from, Guatemala, that's what inside of your home, it's Guatemala, it's Puerto Rican. When you step outside, you New York. But I got to give you who you are in this house. Because outside this house, they might not, and I don't know why people get so, it's like, when Marvin, you make a great point. It's like, dude, some of us are really, really good, we're really, really good con artists. Because I thought I knew some of y'all. I'm talking about former teammates. And I'm like, wait, what'd you say? Yeah, man, I ain't with all that.
If you cut me, I bleed red, white, and blue, but I'm not sitting there like ignoring the culture of my African American friends or my Colombian friends or my Puerto Rican friends or my Italian friends or my South American. Like we are all Americans in our own way, and to sit there and tear down someone else's culture because
we would have to. It goes so deep. It goes so deep, Steven. It's to the point where, look, let me. You ain't finna be playing in our face no more. That's what Marvin is basically saying. That stuff that used to. Marvin, you mentioned Jay-Z, right? I've been blessed enough to do a bunch of speaking engagements. I was at a summit one time, and Jay-Z name came up. The lady said, "The drug dealer." I said, "The billionaire." And she was like, yeah, but didn't he sell? I said, yeah. I said, but you know what makes Jay-Z, right? He says, in order to have influence, I must have financial freedom. So I'm going to become a 1%er. I don't need nothing y'all do. I think Beyonce is a billionaire by now, right? But why does he really do that? Because now you can't tell me no. You can't keep me out. Jay-Z says, I want to be a part of the NFL, and Roger Goodell can't stop it. Because the people that employ him, I'm one of them. I'm a billionaire. But He was doing a concert. He did a little freestyle, and it's what he said. He said, people die for equal pay, right? When I work, I'm not your slave, right? I ain't shucking and jiving and high fiving. This ain't back in the day, right? This ain't back in the day. And for everybody that's thinking we going back in the day, hell no, we ain't going backwards. So for everybody that's thinking, hey man, if it ain't white, it ain't right. Well, it ain't gonna be right then, because white people are not gonna be extinct. They're trying to eliminate. What do people get this? They're trying to eliminate us. No. And being pro-black doesn't mean people are anti-white. To be pro-Hispanic doesn't mean I'm anti-white. Like, when do we get to the point where white people are under attack? Where? When? No. That delusional stuff ain't gonna make it now. And if you want people in sports to stick to politics, tell politicians to stay out of sports then. Because they got a lot to say, don't they? They have a lot to say about us, but we can't say anything about them. Oh, and for everybody saying LeBron James don't lose one endorsement because he's good for business. He can say what he want, when he want, how he want, because the checks, they good. So if y'all politicians out there, listen, if y'all want to tell us to stick to dribbling and stick to basketball and all that, stay out of here. Because one halftime show, why they had another one? You got an anti-halftime show? Get the hell out of here with that, man. The fact that
was pre-recorded too. It wasn't even live. It was pre-recorded. It made it even worse. But I don't want to beat on the political drum too much. There is some fun stuff that happened over this weekend that we can have some fun with and talk about. First and foremost, His Airness, fresh off of suing NASCAR, wins his first Daytona 500. With his team. And Michael Jordan's accomplishments are ridiculous at this point in time. He's got the Daytona 500. He's got all his NBA Finals championships, his MVPs, his NBA Finals MVPs, his All-Stars, his Rookie of the Year, his Olympic medals. Michael Jordan is the epitome of a winner in professional sports. So I guess first and foremost, let me get your guys' thoughts on one. Michael Jordan, his team winning, the Daytona 500 this weekend. Let's start off with Marvin.
I was happy to see him do it, just because Mike's when he got the franchise, when he bought the franchise, the Hornets, I was excited for him, happy for him. A former player buys a team, black ownership, representation. It's all a great thing, but the team didn't do that well. And you would have thought that the greatest player in the world would absolutely be able to put together, a great GM, head coach, get all the good players, and it didn't happen like that. And I really, even though he won financially in purchasing the Hornets and selling it, he definitely went on that on the business side of it. I hated to see that he couldn't really get that organization going. So I was happy that he was able, as an owner, to have success as the leader, as the guy who's putting the money up, as the guy who's, in many ways, the face of the team, just because of his popularity and what he's done in basketball. I was happy to see that, man. And, NASCAR is a sport that, I'll be honest with you, I have no interest in. I've never really been into that. It's a big thing in this, certain parts of the South, for sure. North Carolina, when I was living there, those people are NASCAR crazy. But I never really felt like it was a sport or a business that really was open to people of color, to be honest with you. I felt like the energy and the themes and the Confederate flags that they had for years. I mean, it was visible. I mean, I don't want to be a part of that. So to see Mike come in here and just really make a path, Mike gets a lot of people get on Mike a lot for not standing up, for not speaking up on certain issues, social issues, whatever it may be. But I would argue and say that his greatest contribution, to any type of social movement has been his presence and his success. Because at the end of the day, he's walking into these arenas, he's walking into these areas, and he's being super successful. And he's making people accustomed to seeing a man of color successful in this role and in that role. That's a big deal in regards to changing the narrative and just changing stereotypes and impacting how we think and how we view stuff. So for many reasons, I was very happy, very proud of him. I think Mike is. I like Mike, man. I like how he rolls. And obviously just growing up a kid watching basketball in the '90s. I'm hooked on that. I'm a LeBron guy, but Mike is the GOAT, no doubt. But yeah, man, that was a big day for NASCAR. I think NASCAR I don't know if they realize, what that type of success by Jordan, what that does for their business moving forward. Listen, if NASCAR is smart, they would want Michael Jordan to have the same impact with NASCAR that Tiger Woods had for golf. He changed and granted, Mike's the owner, not the driver, and Tiger was the player, but still, impact is impact. And when you see new faces, different faces, fresh faces attached to these sports, that's a good thing, because now what it means is the sport is growing. So, yeah, I thought it was a good day for NASCAR, good day for Jordan, good day for America. And, again, I don't follow it, but I celebrate it for sure.
What about you, Ben? Your thoughts on Michael Jordan becoming a owner that has won his first, Daytona 500, which is, NASCAR's Super Bowl for all intents and purposes of purpose.
Michael Jordan doesn't do anything that he can't be successful at. And when you think about away from basketball, most of these players are buying into franchises. They're not the sole owner of it. No, I own the Hornets. And it was a financial move, right? It was a financial move, and he won. Michael Jordan got NASCAR to pull down this Confederate flag because Bubba Wallace is a part of his brand. He did that too. He just won $1 billion from NASCAR from suing them. Now he went there. Listen, there's up and there's Mike. Mike is up, like super up. Like Mike saying, I challenged NASCAR twice and won. Do you really think NASCAR wanted to pull that Confederate flag down? They pulled it down with Bubba Wallace. Then he sued NASCAR and won $1 billion. Then he won, you know what I'm saying? Man, look, Daytona. I will say this about Michael Jordan. Leave that man alone. Stop effing him. I'm going to tell you why. Do I think Mike want to speak out? Yeah, but Mike knows, dude, once I pick a lane, I can't go back. So I think what Mike is saying, look, I'm opening more doors for us than y'all know, man. And sometimes I'm willing to be the sacrificial lamb. Mike said, look, but I've been dealing with criticism my whole career. People can say whatever they want. But go check how many hospitals and nursing homes and stuff he done bought and purchased in North Carolina. He opening them up all the time. So when you a billionaire, everything he do ain't gonna be publicized. He does a lot. A billionaire, I got a lot. That's a lot. I'm feeding a lot of families, but I got a lot of employees now, right? But for Mike is saying, I can't just be in NASCAR to be respected. I got to win the big ones. I don't got to keep winning them, but I got to win the Daytona. Got it. So NASCAR still trying to figure out how to give you the $1 billion. You just won Daytona 500. I think for me, Michael Jordan is saying, hey, the only way certain groups of people going to be respected is we got to win what they respect in these sports. We got to win it. And Mike is, and I respect Michael Jordan. I think the thing about there's only one Michael Jordan. The Last Dance was not to see what the Bulls did. It was a show. Do you see how much Mike can't even come out of his room? This is well before social media. I can't even come out. I got to go in my room with a camera crew, with a whole bunch of room service, and my cigars. I have to walk through rooms like this because so there's only one Mike, but I will say this. To every endorsement that will ever be made, you know who killed it? Mike. Hey, man, you want to get your money for your shoes? Let me show you how you really – they should pay you per shoe. How they do that? Mike got that. Mike showed us. So Mike been paving the way. I do agree, Mark. He's the GOAT for a lot of reasons. But now, hey, man, I want to be an owner. How many players was talking about owning teams before Mike? None of them. You mean own a team? Like own one? Magic Johnson is part owner of the Dodgers. He owns the LA Sparks, right? Mike owned the Hornets. And you know what's crazy? I got to go speak in South Carolina back in the day. This was Mike ain't had the Hornets that long. And they said, yeah, Michael Jordan was like speaking to the team. He said the kids was like, Will Muschamp was the head coach. They said Mike was speaking to the team. This kid goes, man, that's the dude that owned the Hornets. He sucks anyway. They said Will Muschamp shut the whole meeting down. He said, wait a minute, turn the lights on. Who said that? Are you crazy? What did you just like? There will be no disrespect and slander when it comes to MJ because if we had to sit in the room and him to break down what his day is like, hey man, what does your day start like? Well, I mean, I got to be here, right here. I got to be there. And we only know about NASCAR and the Hornets. You think that's all Mike got? Mike on concessions? Mike, you don't become a billionaire by owning one thing. So shout out to Mike. And like I say, think about there are owners in NASCAR that have never won the Daytona 500, by the way. And that's all they've ever done. Right? Joe Gibbs, he owns NASCAR. He got a NASCAR racing group. It's a bunch of them. So basically, Mike is saying, I'm here to take over. If y'all haven't realized yet, I'm not here to sign autographs. I am here to take over. And when he does, guess what? Basketball, check. I've done it as a player, done it as an owner. Cashed out both times. NASCAR, I'm cashing out. People saying, you think Mike coming for baseball? You think Mike come? I think he is. I think Mike gonna get a baseball team. There's a team in the ATL that's pretty freaking good. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm happy for Mike though. I think that Michael Jordan is steadily evolving. You know how many kids didn't know how great Mike was that they saw the last? Remember back in the day, Michael Jordan had movies just of him playing basketball. The air up there, just come fly would be like, it's just him hooping. Like I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, LeBron, what did LeBron do? Why did LeBron come out there and make the same, did the same freaking movie that Mike did? It ain't have the same effect. You know, it ain't have the same effect. But it's Michael Jordan. I'm not surprised. Do you know how much pressure his team was under? Because Mike was like, hey, bro, why we ain't won no Daytona yet? Man, I don't try over here. So they finally won that thing. Now they're going to be trying to repeat. But congratulations to Michael Jordan. Congratulations, man. When you going to go to the Michael Jordan Bank and Trust? Dude, you got $1 billion? NASCAR?
Man. And then, of course, someone has to bring this up in the chat, right? So obviously, on top of that, you know, people are talking about some other things that were going on. What I think they're trying to get to is the ice situation.
He had a situation with ice. It was a situation.
So when the celebration was going on, there was one of the guy's kids there, and he had like ice thrown down the back of him, and he's trying to like pull it out so it's not like just sitting there melting on the kid's back. And I guess people were assuming Michael was doing something nefarious when it came to it. So we're sitting here dealing with this nonsense again. Like there's no damn excuse how he acted. But what do you mean how he acted? That's one of his, one of his teammates' son. He was just trying to get ice out of his t-shirt. Why do people always have to consistently make more of something when there's nothing there? And it's because it's even to the point where I was seeing posts on social media. I'm selling all my Jordans. I was in the comment. I'm like, my address is blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you can send them all here if you're just giving away your Jordans, because I'll create a eBay account and make some money off them things if you don't want them. I promise. Because I mean, this is getting ridiculous. We just try to find reasons to tear people down. You can clearly see what he was doing. He wasn't like trying to grope the kid. Like, people need to grow up.
So a kid had ice thrown.
Yeah, like down the back of his shirt, but like his shirt was like tucked in his pants, so it's like a bulge in the back side of it. So. He's sitting there like trying to pull it out, so like it's not just sitting there like
any normal human being would do. Yeah, I mean, I will say this: we do oversaturate the whole viral stuff. The downside of it, and here's the thing, right? I'm gonna keep telling people this. Do you know how easy it is to say what you would have done when it ain't you? Or if it was me, it's like the $100 million. Man, what would you do with $100 million? Oh man, I would. You ain't. Get it and see. Hey man, what happened to that stuff you were gonna get? I'm sorry, man. I got to get to this private jet. Oh, okay. So Mike say, man, I've been doing this since the 90s, man. You think I'm worrying about viral clips, man? Think I'm worrying about what y'all got to say?
And don't forget, we're living in the Diddy/Epstein era. You know what I mean? So now they, the internet and whoever is trying to make anybody a pedophile, put anybody on that list. It's so many high-profile people. It's almost like who hasn't been going to these parties and isn't on that list. And I hate to say that, but this is a hard reach. And it's just this comes with fame. When Mike's life's in a fishbowl. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. He makes any kind of move. People got something to say. That's just what it is. That goes with success. That speaks to that. So, and it just tells you how enthralled people are in other people's lives, other people's actions, big or small. But yeah, this is really when you consider the reality and how sad child abuse is, abuse toward children, and the things that we're hearing about today in the media. It's sad that people play with that and they reach for it, So,
and all of a sudden, just because the group was together, right? The whole, didn't they say a bunch of billionaires was doing this and doing that? And you're like, what you mean, man, doing this and doing that? Like, Michael. So now I can't even be human. Right. I can't even have a moment. I can't even. And Marvin, that's the thing too, right? When we get to talking about a guy like, could you imagine what it's like to be a Michael Jordan, to where I can't have a disagreement in a restaurant. I can't tell nobody, hey man, get out my face. Hey man, I don't want to sign no autograph. It's almost like the dehumanization of people. They're trying to find. Chris Rock said the best. He said, hey, listen, he said, the people with the most got to say the least. The people with the least can say the most. That's why a short person can talk about a tall person. A fat person can talk about a skinny person. But he ain't lying, because if it's the other way around, it's like, did you hear what he? And I'm like, I just think that for a Michael Jordan, I believe underneath it all, he said, dude, I just want to be normal. I'm never going to be normal. I get it. But I just want to be normal. I just want to be able to say, hey, man, if a kid had ice in his shirt, how would you get it out? I would just, you would just pull his shirt, right? Yeah. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, think about this. You do know we just won a Daytona 500, and I know the camera on me, right? I'm not an idiot. The camera been on me when you had the big camera, this Polaroid. I've been out way before this digital world. So, yeah, Michael Jordan is saying, look, Michael Jordan walk out every day, and before he leave, he tell his lady, sweetie, whatever you hear, man, just hear from me first. Because with AI and people just wanting to go viral, I mean, so it's controversial. Is it?
If I'm Mike, I don't respond to this type of stuff. I don't respond to. The reality is, you would assume that him and the kid's parents are straight. The parents ain't tripping because they realize. Of course,
I mean, Mike ain't go. But Marvin, look, no matter what, whether you was an All-Pro, Pro Bowler, we public figures, right? And people don't get. We out with our family. Somebody trying to, they trying to get slick. You got to tell you and your missus, come on, you got to say, come on, let's just go. And people look at it as, yeah, you better go. And you like, bruh, we have to keep walking. Because in our mind, I'm like, you know how much we got to lose? Even if I'm in the right. I got so much to lose. And people don't get that. When you are, I am not comparing myself to Michael Jordan. I am not doing that. But what I am saying is, it's a who's world we live in. And then you doing something normal, somebody getting slick at the mouth. My daughter plays basketball, and my youngest. And we had a situation last Friday, with her coach. I'm not going to name her coach. I mean, I respect him. But if I would have handled it the way I wanted to, I ain't no more fan in the end. Y'all would have heard about Ben went crazy. I'm just telling y'all, but it's like, but I always have to be cognizant of the fact that do I walk around like I'm a somebody? Like no, but the world don't look at it that way. They're going to say, wait a minute. You Marvin Powell's son. Yeah. Then and it's crazy because I can only imagine. I don't think Mike has time. Mike has publicists. Mike has managers. Mike has damage control teams. But Mike probably went in there and said, what? They want me to do what? Man, I'm trying to get ice out the kid. Come on.
I kind of liken this, Ben, to, again, any level of success you get to, you're going to have people who are uncomfortable with your success, uncomfortable with the amount of attention you get. You know what I'm saying? And, the people on the internet who are raising this point and trying to make this an issue, these are the same people that, followed you around in high school, Ben, maybe followed me around in high school, mad because they wasn't popular. Yeah. So anything that popped off with you, they try to create a crazy narrative and just spread it. Because that's what haters
Like, see, I told you he was evil. See?
Oh yeah. It never. It's one of those things where we did this exercise one time in my nonprofit, man. It was called Let It Go. We took some real plates and we write some stuff on there we need to let go, and we threw it up against the wall, broke it. We broke it up against the wall. Now, mind you, I know where I'm at. I'm not crazy, but we're on the campus that I do my nonprofit. There's a lady across the street, right? She was like, "What are you doing?" Mind you, I'm like, "Oh, we just doing the exercise." Where you from? Now I'm answering questions like she the police. I don't got to answer. I'm like, some Swainsboro, saying all this stuff. So she says, so I'm gonna call the police. Call them. So she calls somebody. Now, mind you, I got a trash bag in my hand. I got a broom in my hand. I got a dustpan. So by the time the police get there, Marvin, Steve, it ain't nothing. But let me tell you what really happened. She called the police. She told them who I was, what we were doing. She ain't get the response. She thought, oh, yeah. He over there every week. Oh, so you know him? Yeah, I know his family. Did you hear what I said he was doing? Yeah, but you also told me that he said that I can hear the guy say, well, if I know being the way I do, that dude's gonna get it up. Why? Because I see him cleaning up around there all the time. See, it's that type of, but I got my youngers in my program looking at me. So if I act up, they gonna act up. If I get to, they didn't bat an eye. So she's like, she ain't getting it. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm here. I said, ma'am, I'm here every week. I'm on that side of the campus. You live on this side. I say, but this, I hit it with, this ain't even your street. This is a public road. This ain't even your school. And I'm telling you, this people have the perceptions in people's minds are starting to play out in real time. And that's dangerous because people are saying, you think Michael Jordan's gonna ruin his first Daytona 500 to mess with a kid? What are we?
And it was the driver's son. It was the driver's son.
I'm just saying. And here's the thing, right? Don't you think that Michael Jordan got a relationship with that man's son? They know each other. Come on, Mike's playing with him. We can't even, if we can't have normal human interaction, no matter who we are lost. Because I'm like, because I went to the clip. I'm like, that's the clip. That's what y'all. Man, stop playing, man. Look, man. Come on, man. Do you know? Not to. But it's like, what are we doing? We want to demonize Michael Jordan that bad. That's what we want to do. You still got to go to work tomorrow. You still got to go pay your bills. You think your boss gonna say, man, like that clip, but you was late today? I'm just saying, like, what are we doing? Like, because I didn't even know what the clip was, and I went and saw it. I'm like, that's because I'm looking. I'm like, where the clip at? Oh, that's the clip. That's not even a. You see what Michael Jordan's doing? Yeah, man, the kid got ice in his. Yeah, but do you see what he's doing? Like, yeah, he's trying to get the ice out. You want him to reach down? You want him to pull the shirt and reach down in the shirt? Mike, boy, let me tell you, there's hate.
It's basically like this one: point, laugh, move on.
I'm just saying. I'll be like, but Mike's like this. Listen, I'm about to go get on my private jet with my 5-star shell. I got Fieri on my jet, about to make me some whatever. And I'm finna fly back home to see his beautiful wife and go kick it with his kid. Come on, man. When you're trying to tear down legends for no reason, ask yourself, man, do you have a life of your own? Like, do you have we need to out those type of people. You know who that is? That go your Hall of Fame voters right there. There they go. That's them. That's them right there. That's holding grudges. And these people got the power. Listen, here on the Fan in the End, we promote one thing: Marvin Powell getting in the Hall of Fame. He's getting in, and when he gets in, I'm gonna say, Marvin, take 45 minutes, talk to these people, because we thought it was a conspiracy, right, Marvin? Now we realize it's grudges. And here's the thing: I don't know how it goes, but Marvin, whenever your dad get in, say, "Can I just get a picture of all the voters, please?" Because I want to see, I know that dude. Because Ken Griffey Jr. said he'll never play for the Yankees. Something happened. He said he'll never play for the Yankees. Something his daddy told him, right?
No, it's not what his daddy told him. It was when his dad was there and George Steinbrenner wouldn't let him go on. Like, wouldn't let
They
him
wouldn't
and
let
dad
come
go
on
on
to
the
the.
field to have a catch or something like that. And it was just like he had kind of rubbed Griffey the wrong way from the jump street. And this is when he was a kid. It was before he became junior. You know what I mean? So
I mean,
it was
but do you see
Steinbrenner had
that?
did something to him to the point where he was like, "I'm never going to play for this franchise ever. It's
If
never
I'm
going to happen."
if I'm on any professional franchise, I wish somebody would say, "Hey, look, your son can't come in here." I wish you would,
Dude. And this kind of goes into a point on a baseball point that I kind of want to go over with you guys. Nick Castellanos is finally out of Philadelphia. He's Philly's on the hook for $20 million, and it looks like he's going to play for almost $800K for the San Diego Padres this season. But the stories that came out this week were pretty rough. It was basically sitting there saying that JT Realmuto couldn't get batting practice because Nick Castellanos was out with his son before for one of the playoffs games, and and they were having a problem with Liam being on the field and stuff like that, and like they felt. But what really happened was when there was a rift between coach and player, that Castellanos brought a beer in the clubhouse, and there's all kinds of stuff like that. Basically, Nick was being a guy's guy, whatever. So he's out there out of Philly in San Diego, but this has been a broken marriage. Apparently, his family has gone on to like the Facebook marketplace and sold off all his Philadelphia memorabilia and stuff like that because of how it was handled through the media and by the team themselves. No one in the locker room really kind of stood up for him, so it's like it's kind of a fractured relationship. But if one of the things that came out was basically like, oh well, they weren't playing well in the playoffs because Nick Castellanos was having BP with his son, is something that is beyond me. I get it; it's playoff time. You guys need to get your at bats in. How hard is it to wait for a few minutes for Nick and his son to kind of have one of those genuine bonding moments, and that you're going to sit there and wrap your poor performance around that? Marvin, I guess I'll start off with you and go to Ben. Like, obviously, you're probably hearing about this with fresh ears for the first time. You probably have no idea what's going on with it, but
baseball definitely is not my main thing. I did hear about the situation with the beer, and I thought that was odd. They made such a big deal about that, to be honest with you. The locker room is the locker room, and I know you have rules and procedure and all that stuff, but it's just the boys. You know what I'm saying? So if a dude brings some beer up in here, I don't understand why this is making.
No, it was on the bench. It was like he got pulled out of a game.
Oh, well, that's a little different.
Rob Thompson pulled him out of a game. He wasn't happy. He went in the clubhouse, grabbed the beer, and walked out to the bench and started drinking the beer.
Yeah. So I'll tell you
either way, it's still like, why? Like, why are we getting mad about that? Like if anything, it's like, I don't want to see this on TV. Go back up the hallway, finish your beer, come sit back on the freaking bench type of thing.
Yeah, well, I will say this. If it was on the bench, like during a game,
it was during
the
game
and there's cameras, that's a horrible look. You can't have that. Listen, I'm not mad at the dude, and if I was his teammate, I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't hate the dude, but I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? That it's, but listen, to me, this all sounds like lack of leadership and culture issues. That's really what it sounds like to me. Ultimately, when you hear, just all the little things, the kid, the son, got mad because he can't go. But to me, there's an issue with leadership. There's an issue with culture. Not knowing a lot about, the details and the players in that situation. That's what I take from that. So,
Ben, what are your thoughts? Nick Castellanos is gone, and the hailstorm that has kind of gone on through it between the beer situation and him and his son, holding up, playoff batting practice before the game, the family taking it to heart and selling off all his memorabilia. Is this kind of like a how-to's guide of a broken marriage in sports today?
Yeah, it is. It is sad too, because really, really good player, right? And if he wasn't gonna be in Philly, it sounded like he wasn't gonna be there. But this just makes it easier to get him out of there. But it's how we talk about it. How you leave has a lot to do with your legacy when you was there. Like because people are gonna remember how you left. The situation with his son, you got to pick your battles. Like, you got to know when you can do these things, because I'm pretty sure that's how he spends time with his son. I mean, you on the road, all these games, you don't see him. So it's a bonding time, but you got to, I'm going to keep saying this. If you are one of the best players on your team and one of the best players in the majors, this is a non-issue. You don't even hear about it, right? If this Bryce Harper Jr., this don't even make the news. It better not, right? But as players, you got to know how much leverage you got, right? And so it's sad that it came to this, because the Philadelphia Phillies, you guys are proud. As much as y'all love y'all Eagles, y'all love y'all Phillies too. And for his family, here's the thing, right? His family's trying to show loyalty to the Phillies, but come on, man, you can't say everything out loud. You're gonna sell his stuff off. God, I get it that it was bad. I get it. But with everything that went on with the Phillies this year, right? I mean, you talk about Bryce Harper and him and what was it? Was it the owner? Which one was talking trash?
It was the general manager. Rob Dumptowski was basically sitting there saying he's not elite.
I mean,
and they're still talking about that. We're in February, about to be March. That was something that happened in October, and we're still talking about that.
If people want to know where egos were made, built, manufactured, they were made, built, and manufactured in professional sports. You know how hard it is to get to this level. Who is you talking? Wait. You talking about me? I'm not him anymore. And I'm just saying, when you start talking about situations like this all goes back to what happened in the playoffs with the Phillies, right? So it's going to be some bitterness. The bitterness is here, and if anything comes out, it's going to be, it's going to be salt on the wound. I think now with the Phillies, they just need some good publicity. They do, because they're going to say, if this leak into the season, man, people going to be saying, see, we should have. So I get it. You don't want to be making the news like this, but I think for the Phillies, they just need some good publicity. You talk about dealing with the commissioner. I don't know why he was even allowed in the building. That was good publicity. Like, get him out. I don't want to hear about no salary cap. Get out of here with that. But yeah, I wish
publicity, but I definitely got weird for you. So obviously, Zach Wheeler had a major injury surgery during the end of last season. So during his surgery, he had have a rib removed. He kept the rib. It is in his closet, in his house.
It's weird.
That is probably the weirdest thing I have ever heard.
Wait. He asked for the rib. He asked for the rib after the surgery. Hey man, where my rib at? I mean, it's over there. You want it? Yeah. Because y'all clean it up. See, let me tell you something. Once again, using your leverage. What is the doctor gonna say? No, it's mine. I mean, you gonna tell me? Yeah, it's weird. Literally, he ain't finna start no trends either. I've had broken bones, and I've had surgery on. I got a screw in my foot right now. I can get it. I'm not gonna get the screw taken out and put diamonds on it and make it a freaking charm. I'm not gonna do like certain stuff. It's just weird. Like, it's good to talk about. Like, bro, hey man, you want me to show you something? What? You remember that rib that they had taken out? Yeah. You want to see it? No. What, you got it? Yeah, it's right here. Okay. Rib. I mean, look, listen, the Phillies, let me tell you something. Y'all, they making the rounds right now. But hey, man, look, people got different type of fetishes. They got different type of things that get them going. I ain't here to knock it. Because, like I say, you start digging deep with some of these professional athletes, you think we weird. Woo! We got some weird people.
What about you, Marvin? What are your thoughts? Have you ever heard anything like this?
Yeah, I grew up in LA and New York, man. A bunch of weirdos in the streets. You crazy? But these are just human beings. It's like, Ben's talking about, as you get to know these athletes, you realize how we're human beings, man. We're all human beings. It doesn't matter how much money we make, what color we are. We are all weird human beings. We was weird as kids. We all went through a little weird phase as a kid. Some of us grew out of that. Some of us didn't. Some of us were fascinated by the dead bird in the street. Some of us weren't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all so the fact that this dude wanted his rib, I like that. I would feel sorry.
I mean, so Marvin, hold on, Marvin, because so Marvin is saying, wait a minute. No, this is what we're really saying. You can do that? See, that's what it really is. Wait.
Yeah.
So you telling me my ACL, I can take it home? Yeah, if you want it, for real. Because sometimes, listen, we like different memorabilia. Like we want jerseys and helmets. Somebody said, remember I told you I shattered my shin? That's it right there. See right there? Hey, I ain't not. When AJ Brown, he got the mannequins in his house. Fully. I ain't mad at it. I mean, I didn't know you could do that, but he said, "Yeah, man, I got every jersey I've ever worn." And when I use the word weird for athletes, I mean it in an endearing way. Like we embrace our weirdness. It ain't something we run from. When what's his name? God, what's the defensive end name? Played for Denver.
Shelly's killing it right here. There's a funny one. As long as he didn't make a wind shot on his front porch.
remember when Von Miller was playing for Denver and he had chickens and he named all his chickens after his team. See, it's because he's Von Miller. Like, hey, bro, that's DeMarcus Ware right there. You know what I'm saying? I've learned to embrace our weirdness because your weirdness is what makes you unique, man. Like, ain't nothing wrong with you. Yours are just out front.
Look, right. Ben, you could do all the research on all the animals and all that stuff. There is nothing stranger and weirder than what's happening in the mind of these human beings. Believe that. There's nothing crazier, nothing more wild than what's happening in the minds of many human beings. And you see him every day at work. Hey, Joe, how you doing? How was your weekend? It was good. Joe got bodies in the basement.
No. Joe got bodies in the basement. That's why Joe said, "Hey, man, why don't you never have me at your crib?" I don't really have nobody over.
Man. Come on.
I mean, look, the locker room.
If you think that a dude requesting his own rib is weird, man, y'all don't want to run.
No. Yeah. That's on the weirds. Let me tell you what I respect. I had a lot of teammates, been in a lot of locker rooms. I respect those dudes because if I put out their dirt, then my dirt is open. My dirt will stay concealed in a box. 2 locks on it. I'm through it in the Pacific.
That sounds like a whole nother episode where we gotta redact names and just hear some of these goofy stories.
Man, I was watching a show on Joe Rogan, and they were talking about sex robots. So when you talk about old boy had the mannequins in his house, I'm like, oh my God, Ben about to put this dude out there, but he using it as for the jerseys.
Yeah. AJ Brown,
AJ Brown's got mannequins for like hair. He's got one from high school.
I can't do that in my house. I don't know about y'all house, but if my lady come to the crib, because it could be that's a football mannequin. She gonna say, "What you got the mannequins in here for?" They just right there. Why? No, I'm just. Because I said, listen, you trying to take it left. And look, and listen, and we're not let me say this too, we're not downing sex robot. If you got a sex robot, if that's what you do, we're not coming at you.
No,
see, because now
this is how I'm just saying. I'm gonna help us switch gears and transition into something else, but it has something to do with that on another level. So obviously the Olympics is going on, right? And one of the big things that we all know about what goes on in the Olympics that nobody talks about is the fact that the condom usage. So apparently the Winter Olympics have reportedly facing a shortage on them because through the first 3 days that 10,000 condoms were used in 3 days. Good God.
Yo, hey, I know, hey, they saved. They being saved. They being saved, baby. I respect it.
But how do y'all go through 10,000 of them in 3 days?
Hey man, listen, that's some testosterone. That is some testosterone times a million. I'm not. Look, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at them. I'm because remember when they had them Trojan man? They don't got no commercials no more. Them commercials gone. Like you don't see them. I'm not saying that people ain't using them. I'm just saying that I know they use them in the Winter Olympics though. They say, man, y'all be safe. So what? Do you get to your room? You got like a big bag. I ain't knocking it. I ain't hating. No hate in my blood. 10,000 is that's incredible. Now that's getting it in. That's
Man,
doing it.
listen, at the end of the day, that's just human beings being human beings, man. You know what I'm saying?
All
Y'all
I'm gonna
know
say
history. Y'all know about the
those
days of
athletes are
Rome.
trying to create super athletes right there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that for years, man. But you got to think, man, these people, you know, they work so hard, you know, just for 20 seconds.
Yes.
Just for something that's going to last, you know, and they do this for years. And, you know, I get all that, man. That's just, again, we're talking about human nature, right? That goes back to Adam and Eve.
Hey, think about it. I wonder if that's a part of their speech, though. Hey, listen, as y'all know, we about to get the Winter Olympics about to start. Hey, some of y'all just calm down. Look, I get it. Just be safe. So it should be like, I think they got like 150 when you first get to the room. You got to re-up because they go quick. 10,000. That's impressive, man. Hey, man. Hey, so when people say, are people still using protection? The answer is yes. Yes, they are, and they just happen to be in one section of the world right now, but they are doing it. They are doing it. So,
but you know, there are some cool stuff going on with the Olympics. All I'm going to say is the women's hockey team is downright dominant. They're about to play in the gold medal game. I think it's either today or tomorrow, and they've allowed one goal to get there. One goal to get there. That's like close to like that 92 Dream Team, how they were just blowing people out, right?
Yep.
And memory serves me, the last 3 Winter Olympics, the U.S. women's hockey team has won gold, to my knowledge. So they doing it. You know, props out to the
shout out to the ladies, man. They still leading the way.
They about to do it again. 1 goal though, that's pretty impressive.
That's dominance. We need to start talking about the ladies the way we talk about the guys. We don't got to compare one to the next. We don't got to say, well, they doing this, but no, that's the biggest stage, right? And they dominate. So shout out to the ladies for doing their thing. I think me personally, just making sure that when it comes to the ladies, man, we highlighting these big time athletes going out there doing what they're doing without having to say, with no asterisks, no howevers, no buts. They beat they beating ASS, they taking names. And it's documented. Somewhere Michael Irvin has sent over a whole bunch of belts so they can do the Michael Irvin. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to the ladies,
man. They putting BTA.
Loving that. BTA all day. Congratulations,
Marvin. Your thoughts, women's hockey.
You know, listen, when you invest into youth sports, you know, you can get a grassroots type of organic growth here. But you know, with hockey, and I think that's what we've seen. Hockey is huge in America. You know, in America, you know, the big 3: football, basketball, baseball. But you have other sports that are huge, you know, and hockey is one of them, obviously. And it's something that women have gravitated toward. You know, just from my days in New York, I mean, those hardcore New York sports fans, even the chicks, they got teams, the Rangers or Islanders, you know what I mean? So this also speaks to the U.S. investing money into the Olympic sports, into the women's sports, into the women. You know, resources matter. And, you know, it's great to see the U.S. women be so dominant in such an international game that's been played by women around the world for years. So yeah, it's good. I love seeing it. I'm not a big hockey guy, but I am an American, and I like to see the U.S. on top in these sports.
Absolutely. But since we're on the one, I'm gonna fade away from the Olympics real fast. I was talking with you about this before the show, Marvin. Since we're on the women, talking about how proud we are. Big announcement came through yesterday, as 2 former retired women's MMA icons are going to get ready to throw down May 16th, free on Netflix. Ronda Rousey's coming out of retirement. She's facing Gina Carano, who is an absolute pioneer in the combat sports world. And when the video dropped, all the information went, social media blew up yesterday. There was people hating it. There was people loving it. One of the Gina's former opponents was kind of upset because she's been trying to fight Ronda for the better part of 10 years. Now, let's put some note onto this. It has almost been 10 years since Ronda has fought in MMA. It has almost been 17 years since Gina Carano fought in MMA. To put some backstory to this, in 2015, Gina almost signed with the UFC to fight Ronda Rousey, but she was trying to get some time to get into a fight camp, find a fight team, get the right people around her so she could get the training in. Dana jumped the gun, was trying to push the situation, didn't kind of work out. There were some things said. They haven't spoken since then. Bravo. This is what I've already talked about Jake Paul before. Don't really care too much as a fighter, but as a promoter, as getting some of the best female athletes in the world together on his platform. This is bravo. This is home run out of the park. A lot of people are upset. This is a fight we should have seen 12 years ago. Maybe it is a fight we should have seen 12 years ago, but it's happening now. You get both of them on the same boat. What I want to see is who else they're going to put on the card, but I think we haven't had a big women's MMA fight in well over 5 years. That's no disrespect to Amanda Nunes, no disrespect to Valentina Shevchenko, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Rose Namajunas, all these great women's fighters, but we haven't had a big level, big time women's MMA fight probably since Ronda last fought. You can make that argument. The people come out for Ronda Rousey. Gina Carano she's the OG. There's a saying goes, Gina Carano crawled so Ronda Rousey could run, and is giving all these other women the opportunity. I know both of you guys aren't the huge combat sports fan, but you guys have to be, at least somewhat intrigued of this potential matchup. Start off with Marvin.
First of all, to come back after 10 years, after 17 years, and have to get in shape to go in there and be a killer again, I applaud them just for having the guts to get in shape. Now, I imagine that they probably stayed in some kind of shape. The training, a lot of that training probably they're addicted to be honest with you. This is a part of their everyday activity. They enjoy certain aspects of training, but that's different from gearing up to walk into a ring with somebody who can literally take your life with the right type of contact. I like Ronda Rousey. I got swooped up in all the hype when she was rolling before, the end. And I want to see her come out there and be victorious. I do. I hate the way she left. I hate the fact that, her career, she was on fire and then took a couple of L's and kind of bounced out. You never saw her again. So I hope that she's healed. I hope she's ready to go out there and fight. It is no joke to get your body in shape. And I don't even know what their ages are now. I mean, they were relatively young women then, but 10 years later, 17 years later, man, that's. I
think Ronda Rousey's 39 and Gina Carano's 42. So there's not a big age gap, but I mean,
man,
it's going to be very interesting. And how it came together is Ronda seen an interview and she just didn't like how Gina looked. She thought that she had gained an unnecessary amount of weight, and she felt like, I need to give something back to Gina because Gina inadvertently gave something to me and she didn't even know about. So that's literally like they started having conversation and started like literally put this together on the fly, got Gina back training. Gina was probably depressed because of what was going on with her in Disney, how she got fired, how she was going through the lawsuit and all that. So she probably did gain unnecessary amount of weight, but it's great to see that these two are coming together and they're going to be able to put on an exciting event for fans. Love them, hate them, whatever. I think a lot of people are going to tune into this.
Yeah, now let's
go finish.
No, I'll say again. I was a big Ronda Rousey fan. I actually just finished watching Entourage. I just binge watched it, and I forgot she was on that show. She did a good job too. But no, man, I'm a Ronda fan. I want to see the fight. I would definitely tune in. I think it's May 16th, and I just hope nobody
free on
Netflix. Yeah, I hope nobody gets hurt. Obviously, I want to see a vicious fight now, but I don't want to see these ladies walk out of here with real injuries. And again, regardless of how the fight ends up, the most impressive thing to me is that they retired, got away from training, and they want to go back into that. That's impressive. You know what I mean, Ben? You know what I'm talking about. So
yeah.
So Ben, your thoughts on this one? Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano.
Man, the OG versus the face, because Ronda Rousey was the face. I mean, I remember when she lost, I think the Holly Holm or whatever. I was like, she lost to a fight. She lost to a boxer though, not a per. This is what I like about this. There aren't many times. You know how former athletes you'll say, "Dude, I got one more in me." Who would you want? Gina was like, "I want Ronda." You want Ronda Rousey? Yeah, because if two juggernauts never meet, it's always the biggest what if. What you think would have happened? What you think would have happened? And I think for Gina, she's saying to herself, Ronda, I respect you, youngin', but you ain't better than me. And we both, real close in age. Ronda Rousey is a savage. When she was out there doing it, Marvin, she was a savage. I mean, she used to get at people. I'm like you though, Marvin. I hope, because here's the thing. You start talking about late 30s, early 40s, you can get in shape, but your bones are late 30s, early 40s. You ain't got that bounce back like you used to. So you're gonna train, you're gonna get right. I'm gonna need these haymakers to land now. I can't be swinging and missing. No. I got to connect, dude. I can't. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. You know, I ain't promoting no violence, Marvin, anything. But if I heard that my guy Marvin got in, I hope he got to come. Because the fight ain't gonna last long. Think about this. Fight ain't gonna last long. Ain't gonna last long. But here's the thing, right, Marvin? This is a win for me, right? Both of them go out there and fight really, really hard. And, you know, they kind of have a draw. We don't want to see no submission because Ronda Rousey is a submission. She can't wait.
She's the armbar queen.
She gonna make your arm do things that arms don't do. She's gonna try to pull it out the socket times 20. But I respect the fact that Gina's saying, I ain't ducking you now. I'm not ducking you. Cause see, when one person stayed in shape and the other person, you know, got out of shape a little bit, it can seem like, yeah, you don't want this. Who told you that? Who told you I don't want you? I like that because, in a sense, Gina really can't lose even if she loses. Because if she makes it halfway, I've been away for 17 years, right? And she's saying, but what if I win, though? Because there are certain people in the sport, once again, people say Ronda, they forget about Gina. Gina like, wait a minute now, I was nice too. I don't think nobody had the fanfare that Ronda had now. Ronda used to get paid like the guys. Like she was a headliner. But look, every former athlete got one fight in them. You want to look good even if I don't look good. Like I want to go out there and duke it. That way somebody pulling me apart saying, you wish. And you get home and your lady say, boy, you got that little, yeah, man, I got a little squabble in me. You know what I'm saying? Just a little razzle dazzle, but I ain't trying to fight. Like that. I mean, I got some younger nephews, man, that's in college, whatever, right? They get to tussling with you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And they grab you the wrong way. You like, wait a minute, hold, let me go, young buck. Wait a minute, we don't do that. You kind of use your, hey man, so that's how you gonna do your uncle. That's how you feel. You feel good beating up on him, and then you go in the room and you're like, you all right, man? He grabbed me, man. You see what he grabbed me? Boy, I'm about to have to go do something to him, but I'm looking forward to a good fight. I'm like you, Marvin. I don't want to see no bruise. I don't want to see faces all bruised. That kind of stuff is cool when you're 21 and your face heal quick. I don't want these women are wives and mothers, man. Come on now. We want to see a good fight, but if it end up looking like Jake Paul, you know, versus Mike Tyson, if that's how it end up looking, you know, because training and fighting is different. And both I'll
say this much, Ben. Again, Ronda's the grappling queen here. Gina is more known for that true mixed martial arts style, you know, wrestling, kickboxing, Muay Thai, stuff like that. If Ronda gets a hold of her early and puts her on
if she get if Gina let her listen, everybody knows this about Ronda Rousey. If I grab you, if you let me get a position, you trying to get that rep to come in and say let her go, because that stuff can get gruesome. That stuff used to be gruesome to watch. But Ronda Rousey, to me, is what happens when you put money behind a woman superstar, because they did a good job with her, man. Like the way her demeanor, I just think that she went when she really went up against a boxer. Holly Holmes, like, you think I'm finna get?
Yeah, but Holly Holmes she had 3 times as many fights as Ronda, so the experience level was so vast. I mean, granted, like you said, she was a world champion boxer. You can't. Yeah. Ronda could have had a year to train for that fight and probably would have the same result. And you know, and we talk about Marvin was talking about having Ronda rewrite how she left, right? I think it's very important because I think people also tend to forget when she didn't win the Olympics the year before she won the bronze, right? She disappeared for 3 years. Some of us are able to handle losses differently. You know, when you guys are football players, you're so it's kind of ingrained into you early, where when you're in like judo and you're in combat sports, you're not taught how to lose. So that's how she handled it. I agree. She probably didn't handle it like you would like to see a champion of her caliber handle it, but we all deal with things in our own way. So that's one of the things I am looking forward to, is her kind of rewriting her exit. I don't see either one of them having significant amount of fights after this. I think this is probably going to be a one-off for both of them. I think the biggest thing that was announced over the last week is they brought this fight to the UFC and they turned it down. The fact that you're still making the White House card, which is arguably you're putting all your eggs in that basket. The fact that you can't get these two women under contract to do it at the White House, it's going to be really interesting. I think the UFC dropped the ball here. Viewership, popularity, all that. It is going to be an interesting fight. I'm looking forward to seeing what both of them are going to do. I'm with Marvin here, dude. My girls were absolutely were in love with Ronda Rousey. It's why both my ex stepdaughter and my daughter used to be in the gym training. It's because of Ronda Rousey. So I mean,
she's
Gina
a pioneer.
so it's going to be fun. Go ahead. What was that, Ben?
Well, she's a pioneer. I mean, Ronda Rousey, those weigh-ins with Joe Rogan, they were epic. Like when Ronda, like, because to be a headliner in UFC, that's hard. There are guys that like it's hard to be a headliner, man. That means you got people on your undercard. She was a headliner. And when they used to ask all these questions, like, how do you generate as much money as you generate? Because I win, because I'm a headliner, because I'm like that. That's why. So, hey,
the other thing I didn't like her demeanor. I'm like, she's a wrestler heel. That's what she is. She used that persona and just transferred to combat sports. Oh, well, she's not respectful. I'm like, not every fighter is you're gonna want to sit down and have tea with and have a conversation with. Some of them are just bad mofos. The end.
Period. I'm a fighter. What do you want me to be? You want me to be nice? You want me nice? You want me to say it to you nice? Yeah. No. Make me say it to you nice.
It's gonna be fun. You know, obviously there's gonna be people who love it, hate it, or indifferent about it, but I'm excited for it. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get the quality of fighters, and Marvin even mentioned this. The layoff alone between the both of them is a lot to ask from somebody. So it's going to be interesting to see what versions of these fighters we're gonna get. You know, Gina Carano's been 17 years, so she's double the time. You know, almost double the time Ronda is. So it's going to be interesting. Again, I want to see who else they fill the card out with to kind of go along with them. But you know, we'll see. I'm excited for it. I think a lot of young girls and young women around the world are going to be excited for this. And it's going to be free for everybody to watch. So I guarantee you, Netflix is going to pull numbers for this one.
Yep. So, Netflix know how to get to them bags. Boy, hey, bro, we got you. We do numbers on that.
Ronda said they're going to have to pay her well over $1 million to get back into fighting again. So I'm curious to see how much they paid these two women to come. Man,
that's a good. They said hold on. They said Ronda's on the phone. They said how much she want? She want $1 million. Yeah, handle that. We do that on a. We get more than that for a Chris Rock special. You know, $1 million a net. Like that's what they want. They're like, why are you whispering? Put it on speakerphone. Hey, Ron, how you doing? Yeah, man, we can handle that. Oh, we got you. All right.
I mean, look, they've both been in movies. They've both been away from the game a lot. It's going to be interesting either way. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it all. Jake Paul does it again. I think everyone underestimates how he can promote a fight and get people together.
He's bringing that promote. I mean, that's how he does what he does, man. I don't know why people keep doubting him now. You know, he probably needs to stay away from Anthony Joshua. That probably wasn't. That's a different story. But that payday hit his jaw. I mean, he put this jaw on this side. But I'm pretty sure all the millions they'll help the swelling go down. He'll be
well, see, he didn't have to pay taxes on his purse because of where he lives. So I mean, he pulled in more money than Anthony Joshua did because he lives in Puerto Rico.
Who, Jake Paul is in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, Jake Paul has lived in Puerto Rico, I think, for the last 2 years, 3 years. So
I'm
he's
trying
run
to
his
say,
fights over the last 3 years. He ain't paid taxes on.
You start. Listen, somebody say, man, you live in Puerto Rico? No, that's my permanent residency. I mean, I got a home. That's what I'm saying. When you talk about people that understand money, they'll say, man, how do we do this? Oh man, you just say put your permanent residence here. This is your other residence here. How much money you want to take home? I said, as hard as you about to get hit, you're gonna need as much money as you need.
I mean, me and Marvin were talking about last week the jock tax and everything going on in California. How Sam Darnold lost money playing in the Super Bowl, and then you see stuff like what Jake Paul's been able to do. I think he cleared $30 million this last fight.
I mean, you want to know why players? You want to know why players really want to play for the Titans and the Bucks and the Jags and Miami, right? They want to play for them because they don't stay taxed. See, I played for the Bucks. I played for the Bucks and the Raiders in the same season. I played for the Bucks for 2 games. Then I got cut. Then I end up going to the Raiders, right? And I'm just looking at my check. I mean, I'm like, that guy. I mean, listen, California tax and New York tax ain't nothing to play with. California, you'd be like, dude, they ain't even got no kids. Are they taking our child support? God, I mean, it's like it's cut in half. So when people, why do you think LeBron? I guarantee you, LeBron's permanent residence is probably in Cleveland, even though he played for LA, because he like, man, dude, you know how much money like Kawhi Leonard and them be losing because they play for the Clippers? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how much, but that's why you got to have them endorsements, baby. Got to get that money up. I ain't mad at it.
Yep. Now, speaking of craziness, right? I know we popped off baseball for a second, but do you know that, according to Jeff Aggressive of the Chicago Sun-Times, Major League Baseball broadcast will no longer show balls and strikes on screen on the strike zone, as the league is exercising caution to ensure teams cannot exploit the broadcast and advantages for challenging. No, it's not. That's not the reason why. They don't want to be held accountable for human errors going on with their umpires, because a lot of fans have been arguing for the ABS system. So you can sit there and say all you want that it's so the teams can't have advantage for it for challenges. That's not why.
Yeah, but Steve, man, human errors is part of the game. It is, and a lot of times, when the umpire or the referee, whoever, makes a good call, it benefits you. Sometimes they make a bad call, it still benefits you, whatever it may be. I mean, that's just part of it, And I don't think people realize how much they depend on the refs and the umps in these various sports to make those calls, to come back with, what's the final call? What did New York say? We kind of live for those. I think if we go straight technology, I mean, we've already lost so much of sports and games as things evolve. But if we go with straight technology, it takes out a very big part of sports culture for us. What did that guy think versus what did the computer say? You know what I mean? So it's a slippery slope. I mean, obviously with Vegas involved, I think it's even more important to get these calls right. I think people kind of look at it like that as well. But yeah, the ref getting it right, the ref getting it wrong. We've lived with that for over 100 years, and I just think people underestimate what the game would be like, what the process or the experience would be like if you took those humans out. So we'll see.
So Ben, is that why? Is they don't want people to take advantage of the challenge, or is it my overall thought on this?
It's baseball it's baseball pissing you off again, because that's why we're watching, right? You watch baseball to go, whoa, look at that strike zone. Wait a minute, like what? It's why people sit there for 3.5 hours in the heat trying to see the strike zone, and now stop trying to take the game out of the game. We understand that some of these, and what you need to do is make sure these umps, go get their eyes checked. Sir, can you see? Yeah, no. What is your vid? Because yes, I think human error in baseball is what makes baseball fun. That's why you watch, because it's gonna be a lot of it. Some of these strike zones, Stephen, get real wide depending on the ump. I'm like, just because he's in the batter's box doesn't mean that's a strike zone. I mean, the batter's box is real big. And, you know, you got these good catches, right? They can barely move their glove. Like, I barely move that thing. I don't like it. I don't like this for the same reason why I don't like the fact that NFL teams don't get report cards. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like it. I don't. Because my grandfather introduced me to baseball. He's showing me. I still don't know this. That's a slider, and now I wonder. Baseball is going to become unrecognizable at a certain point, and people going to say, "What?" And I do agree, Marvin. The games do change. Nothing stays the same. Look at kickoffs in the NFL. I get it. You're not going to show it, really? Why? Well, because we don't want, dude. I don't know if the umps in MLB are. That's all they do, because I know in the NFL they got other jobs and they get to be they get to be refs. No, you don't want us to be able to slow this stuff down. That's the power of social media. You can slow this thing down and go, wait a minute, now that look like and you don't want the scrutiny. These owners, they got a lot of power, boy. They are doing stuff to go, dude, I don't want nobody coming at me about my team or whatever. I don't like it. I don't like it because it's baseball, right? Is it a part of the game? Yeah. So why are you taking it out? Why we can't see it? Why I don't want to see these. I don't want to see this AI machines come. I don't want to see it, man. I really don't, because I don't want the game to be so perfect. I want the mistakes. I want the errors, because, like I say, you only biased when it's your team. Now, when you're playing my team, hey, bro, what's up with this strike zone? Now, when it's another team, hey. So I just don't like the fact that they're taking the game away from us in real time, and we supposed to just go, okay, I don't want to see the strike zone no more. I don't gotta see. If you watch baseball, you know what a strike zone is. If you watch it enough, what's the one Stephen we always talking about? He awful. This dude, I can't remember his name. He got a reputation.
Not recently, but I remember how bad, what was it, Joe West was?
Man, it's look, baseball. I would consider myself a baseball purist, but I like baseball. But to the baseball purists, they pissed, and they should be. Just like Marvin don't like the fact that a fullback should be just highly sought after as a running back. But people go, we got tight ends for that. No, the hell you don't. Tight ends. Look. A tight end coming in the backfield don't make him a fullback. That means he's in the backfield. He's finna try to kick out the defensive end. Fullbacks look like a fullback. You ain't finna yell at him. You ain't finna scream at him.
Was it Angel Hernandez? Was Angel Hernandez the one?
Yes, Angel was awful. The fact Angel was awful. He was. His name was Angel. He was anything but. But no, I just hope that baseball understands this game is precious, man. Human error is a part of it. Hashtag bring back the fullback. I respect fullbacks.
Just so we're clear on Angel Hernandez, before his retirement, he notoriously set a record missing 28 calls in a single game. 28 calls. And got his check and went to another game. You see what I'm saying? If there aren't any consequences, we have fun with it, but I don't know if you guys seen this right before we came on air, but breaking news, Patrick Mahomes has restructured his contract, freeing up over $43 million for cap space for the Kansas City Chiefs this season. Marvin, me and you talked about this last week. Don't sleep on the Chiefs, right? We already talked about this. So the fact that he restructured his contract, freeing up $43 million for them to go out there and make some moves, I think the Chargers and the Broncos should be very aware of what the Kansas City Chiefs might be doing this offseason, whether it be making a trade and signing a guy, bringing back a former player. The guy we were talking about Monday, we just seen Tyreek Hill get cut. Wouldn't be surprised to see him wind up back in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform, being that he's going to be on the market. It's going to be interesting. Kansas City always makes it interesting. Marvin, your thoughts on this one? $43 million now available for cap space.
Listen, this guy, Pat Mahomes, He wants championships. I mean, no doubt about it. He's looking at Tom Brady. He realizes, what it's going to take for him to be at the top of the food chain in regards to championships and his GOAT talk. Right now, he's referred to as the baby GOAT with 3 world titles. But yeah, he went to 7 straight AFC championship games. I think he got kind of used to that to a degree. This past season, they got beat up a little bit, and he saw what the other side looks like, and he didn't like that. He don't like that at all. You realize that for as much as when you're healthy and your team is healthy, you can go out there and compete. But a few guys get hurt, a few guys leave. Now you're in a whole different situation, man. And he saw Tom Brady win 3 Super Bowls and then go 10 years without even going back to Super Bowl, right? And he doesn't want that. I think this guy has been on the Brady page for a long time in regards to how he's going to get paid, taking a pay cut, doing quote unquote team friendly deals. He wants to get back on top. But Pat Mahomes is not accustomed to not going to the playoffs. He's not accustomed to not being talked about in the playoffs and being the favorite. And I think that all that just rubs him the wrong way. And that's just the competitor in him. This is a guy who just watched Tom Brady take all those pay cuts, but then just sign a $300 million deal to call football games. Pat's making, Pat has, I think, like 20 endorsement deals that are all over $1 million, something crazy like that I had read. So he recognizes the opportunity for him to make money, in this sport, outside of the sport. I think he recognizes that winning championships is ultimately what's going to catapult his name and his legacy to the top. And I think what he's doing right now is the dirty work and taking some pay cuts, being team friendly so they can do what you said, Steve, bring in a Tyreek Hill, make sure that O-line is solidified, make sure they continue to have a pass rush, make sure they continue to have a cover corner, because these are things that you need if you really want to compete. So, yeah, this is him making real business moves, thinking of the big picture. And even with all that said, listen, he going to get his money. The Chiefs going to pay that man. They're going to find a way, whenever they say they're at the cap, this and that, listen, they pay who they want to pay when they want to pay him. They find ways to get that done, So don't think he ain't getting paid, y'all, because he is. But he's also making big boy moves, thinking about his legacy, which is smart.
Ben.
The best pickup this offseason with all the coaches was Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy is back. Because I hope that Big Red legacy going to be Eric Bieniemy going to end up being the coach in waiting, but that's another conversation. Patrick Mahomes went to the front office and said, I want Eric Bieniemy back. They said, all right, what you going to do? I'll take less money. Restructuring means they finding ways to – restructure doesn't mean less money. That means they're finding different ways to give me money. I'm still giving I'm still getting my money. They're just finding a way to put it in a signing bonus or something, roster bonus. $43 million. You know what Patrick Mahomes knows? People want to play with him. These receivers like, what? Yeah, man, you want to come play with Patrick Mahomes? Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans. You're going to have some guys in this free agent pool because we act like Kansas City's had one down year. They had a down year last year, right? Had a down year. They lost in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Like, Kansas City was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. We act like had a down year. Patrick Mahomes is saying, I'm finna come off an injury. And I remember I got all these receipts. Everybody writing me off. I'm better than all of them. Line them up. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, line them up. I think Tyreek Hill is probably going to end up back in Kansas City. He's understood, yeah, it ain't what I thought. My bad. And all them shenanigans, that ain't going to happen in KC. All that stuff, he ain't doing that. I guarantee you ain't going to do that. Kansas City is at their best when their offense is firing on all cylinders. Nothing against Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie and all them. Cool. But the defense was real good because you had a high-powered offense. $43 million to spend. I think Kansas City I don't know when. I think they're moving to Kansas, which I mean that's a big deal if you're from Kansas, I guess. But I think that Patrick Mahomes is showing how much of a chess player he really is. He's saying, look, man, most of these guys only got regular season success. They got MVPs. They got I'm competing for championships. And if I'm not, That Travis Kelce, he got one more in him. I don't know if he got two more in him. He said, "Yo, Trav, give me one more." What? Give me one more season. And guess who they want to play? Philly. That's what they want to play. I don't think they'll beat them. That's what they want to play. I don't think they'll beat them. But I think because if you are Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes is what? Considered a top 10 quarterback right now. Didn't he like a top 100 quarterbacks list? He like a top 10 QB.
Actually, yes, they just did. And there's actually a whole bunch of Eagles quarterbacks on that top 100 list, right? Ron Jaworski's on the list. Jim McMahon's on the list. Jalen Hurts was on the list. Michael Vick was on the list. Donovan McNabb was on the list. Randall Cunningham was on the list. Even our recently departed Sonny Jurgensen was on the list. But yeah, it's list season for the media cycle, right? So
I got Randall Cunningham over Donovan McNabb. Did I see that right?
Yes, I did. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad because me and Ben talk about this a lot. Donovan does not get the love that he deserves.
He wins that Super Bowl.
I don't know which quarterback in Philadelphia did more was best than Donovan McNabb.
They don't. People look. You said it too, Marv. You said if he win that Super Bowl, he's in the Hall of Fame. I love Randall. Listen, love Randall Cunningham. I always look at if it's a list. Ron Jaworski, you talking about Jalen, Randall Cunningham. Like he was nasty good. He was cannon. 2 cannons in his arm. I don't understand the Donovan McNabb. I don't understand that. Donovan McNabb, he had T.O., and maybe people hold that against the whole T.O. thing, right? Donovan McNabb was good way before T.O. got there. He was excellent when he had T.O. Now I ain't saying that. He was good way before that. I remember when it was, people, it was the Eagles. It was the Eagles versus freaking Tampa Bay. Eagles versus Tampa Bay, man. The winner. Eagles versus my freaking Falcons. And Donovan McNabb was about as consistent of a player. For the Eagles, once again, when you play for the Eagles, that's a different level of scrutiny. That's a different level of feedback, if you want to call it. He was incredible. And we talk about Brian Westbrook, Dude Staley. You know what I'm saying? He went through, he had some running backs. He had his tight ends, but Donovan, people talk about Donovan like he was all right. No. Donovan was nice. Like nice. Him going to Washington, it was weird.
I think that's probably one of the worst trades the Eagles ever made.
Yeah, that to me, that's the one thing about the Eagles who I said, look, you're supposed to do right by him, man. Like you don't do him like that. I'm gonna send you to Washington. Really? You gonna do that? But Donovan McNabb, yes, Jalen Hurts got the Super Bowls, so I get he gonna be on the list. Donovan McNabb. I mean, before it's all said and done, Jalen gonna probably be tops because of the Super Bowls. But you just talking about just a pure player. Oh, Donovan him. And I love Randall. Donovan McNabb. I met Donovan McNabb because Keith Bulluck I played with the Titans. They both went to Syracuse. And Keith Bulluck had an event in Nashville. He didn't tell us that. Now, mind you, I'm in the NFL. I'm not supposed to get starstruck. I'm in the NFL. I'm supposed to be. He didn't tell me Donovan McNabb was. So we walk in, we got all the suits on, and Donovan McNabb is in there. I'm like, oh, shoot, that's Donovan McNabb. Fanboy in him. Do you remember that Whisper song? They had the Whisper song by the Yin Yang Twins. Donovan McNabb made the DJ play. This is no lie. He said, every time I point at you, you play the Whisper song. Now, he drinking. He might have been a little, He pointed at this dude like 100 times. We heard the Whisper song like 100. But I respect the fact that the DJ, he said every time he played it, every time. Come to find out, right? Because, Donovan now smooth. I'm like, man, why he do that? Donovan said, I'll give you $100 every time you play it. You going to give me $100? If I even think you pointing at me. He made some cheese that night. So, hey, but I don't like the Donovan McNabb slander. I'm not here for it. He was Andy Reid's legacy is because he had Donovan McNabb. Like, them two was joined at the hip. People need to stop. Like I say, Jalen got the Super Bowl MVP in the Super Bowl just like Nick Foles do. But as an individual player, Donovan was nice. So I don't understand why people be hating on the way they do.
Yeah, he lost to see Michael Vick on that list before Donovan McNabb. It was just like, Number 5, we will always love you.
Yeah, man, Donovan is here, man. Donovan McNabb coming out of Syracuse. Dude, he took Philadelphia to some new heights, man. I mean, y'all always had a shot with him under center.
And speaking of the list thing, right? And we were just talking about Jalen Hurts. Did you hear who's the most hated player in football?
Yeah.
Who?
The one, the only Jalen Hurts.
I understand this, though. I understand.
Out of all the people that played in the NFL, he's the most calm, cool, collected guy in the room, but somehow he just generates the most hate. And we were just talking about how we don't get it. We don't get the Donald McNabb hate. I really don't get the Jalen Hurts hate because there is literally you may have things you dislike of how he plays on the field. You wish he was better at X, Y, and Z. But the fact that he was voted the most hated player in the NFL, when you have guys that are in this league who've been either accused and or convicted of domestic violence is beyond me. Beyond me. Marvin, go ahead, brother. I know you're trying to get it out.
Yeah, no, a lot of that may have to do with the fact that he was at Alabama. They were so dominant. A lot of people got sick of Alabama. And I mean that. He goes to the Eagles. They don't have them. They don't have the best. They don't have the sweetest and nicest fan base. You got people who have feelings about his success there. A lot of the hate could do with his success, to be honest with you. But I really believe, and I know Ben said he's not a puppet, but nah, I don't think Jalen does a great job of selling himself. I don't think he cares about that, actually. Maybe that's what Ben was saying. I don't think he really cares about selling himself to the public to make himself likable. He doesn't really play the game like that. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think if you're looking to monetize your brand and get endorsements and get followers, which all that turns to money, you should do that. I mean, that's part of it. Growing up, I mean, you saw all the Wheaties commercials, you saw all the Nike commercials. I mean, you want to be liked, you want to smile, you want to have a certain energy toward the people. And I don't think he plays that role. I don't think he really cares about that. I think I don't know if Nick Saban did it to him or what, but I think he's just focused on doing his job and going home. And how you feel about him, and if you want to sign him to an endorsement deal and all that, I don't think he's thinking like that, man. I think he's a different dude like that, And I think that's the reason why that he comes off that way. I do. You could say a lot of other things, but no, I think it really is just him not caring about appealing to people in a certain way, and that just comes off as negativity, and I think it bothers people.
And we talk about this a lot, man. So
Jalen Hurts he's like the anti-quarterback. As far as because we look at it's like what Cam Newton said. When Cam Newton said, look, man, they want you to be a certain way. They want me to be like Peyton Manning. They want me to be like Tom Brady.
Who's in the house?
What's up, Luther? Can Luther hear me? Luther. Can you hear me? There it is. Can you hear me? No, I was saying about Jalen. I remember when Cam Newton used to say a lot about when he first got to Carolina. Mr. Richardson would say, "Do you got any tattoos? Do you got any piercings? Are you gonna grow your hair out? All these things, right?" And at first he thought it was weird. Like, dude, why you asking me? Are you clean cut? Jalen Hurts is saying, dude, I just want to play football. Wasn't it last offseason they was doing like a TikTok dance thing? Remember the girl comes up and she says, dude, he's like, I'm not doing that. Like, look, he's not for everybody. He's like, look, I'm not. I see Jalen Hurts on IG talking to kids. So he get out there in the community and doing that part. But he goes, look, he's married. I don't know if he got any kids yet. He helped a lot of black women push their HC up to an incredible level. And Jalen Hurts is not like because he's a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles and he beats most people he played. That's what they ain't gonna just say, dude, he beats us. What? And he was beating you before Saquon got there, right? He was beating, so don't act it's because of Saquon. And I think Jalen Hurts would have it no other way. I'm on y'all mind like that. I'm the most hated player in the NFL. Once again, Ain't no surveys on this though, Marv. Ain't no surveys on this. Who voted?
Let's try this again. Luther, can you hear us this last time?
I can now.
Also, Luther, man, we talking about your boy being the most hated player in the NFL, Jalen Hurts.
Ain't that crazy? Like, is that hated by the players?
I think it was fan voting. I don't think it was players. I think it was a fan vote.
Well, people usually hate successful people. You know what I'm saying? People hate successful people who don't get in trouble, who are good looking. They got to find a way. I've heard people say he's too perfect, right? So that's why they're hating on him. For me, I'm kind of baffled. Like, what the hell has he done? Like, you know what's funny? How people love the you'll see the little memes with the thug in the street, and then the guy driving home from work who's an engineer, and the girl picks the thug from the street. That's kind of how this is translating to me. They people like the edgy guy, right? I'm trying to figure out what Jalen has done to be hated besides beat other teams. That's really interesting to me.
That's what
you might not like
who voted for that? I can understand if it was
like the Eagles or like the guy.
I don't.
Really?
I don't.
I really, I saw that and I was wondering, is this a poll of fans or is this a poll of players? If this is a poll of players, that sounds like a whole lot of hate to me. Like, that's weird.
He's the starting quarterback for the Eagles, though. Don't that come with it?
Yeah, you hate the Eagles, but I'm talking about if they give us a poll of guys you hate, it's usually like dirty guys. You know what I'm saying? It's not. That's weird. I don't know.
It is, like I said.
But maybe to your point, Ben, you're right. Because last year people hate. They hate Patrick because Patrick was what, 3 out of 4 Super Bowls. So I guess I get it from that point. From that standpoint, it's still weird.
People get jealous of success. That's why I was saying. I think people, you look at his time at Alabama. He did well at Oklahoma. He goes to Philly as a second-round pick. He's in 2 Super Bowls. People hate success, and people get jealous. It's weird, man, and that turns into I hate you because you're successful and you're so successful and you've been so successful. And every time you go adversity, you've overcome adversity. I don't like you.
It's true because I'm a Tar Heel basketball fan and I hate Duke. I don't hate Wake Forest. They haven't won anything. So there's no reason. People hate Alabama football because Nick was winning everything. Then people, I'm a Clemson football fan. People started hating Clemson football. Who the hell hates Clemson football? We won.
South Carolina Gamecock, man.
Well, it's just the Gamecocks, of course. That's in-state.
Tell who we hate on them.
And that's it. And that makes sense. It makes no sense for Notre Dame to hate Clemson. Like, what we've got 2 in the past.
I don't think anything makes sense in college football rivalries. Sometimes it's just a developed hate. I really do. Like
rivalry. That's what I'm saying. Rivalry is one thing. That's why I hate Duke. Rivalry is one thing. I don't hate. I don't know.
How many miles y'all separated by? Y'all both off of Tobacco Road. So Duke and North Carolina both off of Tobacco Road.
8 miles.
I'm just at Marvin. How far? I'm just asking. I don't know how far is UCLA from SC. How far away?
I think it's like 7. It's a straight shot. It's like 7 miles. I think something like that.
Oh, okay, so it's okay. So I'm saying because that's Duke and North Carolina. That's a different kind of that is the premier basketball. That's going to be the premier college basketball rivalry. When Jesus come back, it's going to be Duke and North Carolina. I get it. I'm serious. It's going to be. It's just because the Dukies, man. It's like my son's grandfather went to this dude went to South Carolina and North Carolina. He went to both. The stuff he says about Duke players, he'll say stuff like, "Yeah, man, the kind of food they eat, It's like he goes deep. It's embedded. It's
so
like I'm like, what? Like, yeah, man, like JJ Redick, like guys like JJ Redick, like he'll say, who names a kid JJ? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just crazy. It's just so I respect when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is not who the NFL wanted to be winning like this. It wasn't supposed to be him. It was supposed to be, the other guys. They like Jalen. He ain't gonna stop. And now, because I'm the most hated player. Yeah, okay. Now I'm really coming for y'all. All right, I'm gonna take it out on the NFC East and whoever else on the schedule. Hopefully my Falcons ain't, because we don't really got y'all. Our birds are dirty. Y'all birds fly. So we don't do that.
Yeah,
and them people wanted Carson Wentz.
I gotta come at you.
Yeah.
I gotta come at you. He made a post. I think it was yesterday, right? Talking about how who's the next chance of going worse the first, and she thinks her Giants are. I think they have a good chance of getting out of worse, but I don't know about first. Basically, Philly's dysfunctional offense, great defense, and we're push extraordinary. Dallas is wasting Dak's prime. I don't disagree with her there. Did not get better with trading Parsons. That's still arguable because we haven't seen what the picks are going to be. Washington, not enough depth to overcome injuries, needs more young talent. I don't disagree with her there. But the fact that you think the New York Giants are going to go worse from first in an NFC East that has Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts running those teams, I think is kind of foolhardy. Your boy, your girl Nikki needs some help, Ben. What's up, man?
No, number one, right? We need to get past this. Did the Giants? Jackson Dart won his first start. Scatterboo run like crazy, right? That's it. Like what? That's literally it. When you talk about the Giants, they got Brian Burns. That was a second team All Pro. Abdul Carter. You need to refresh it. You need to be looking at different stuff when you're in meeting rooms, young man. I'm just saying you don't got to look at that during meetings. What are we talking about? Who are the Giants gonna beat consistently? They're not gonna beat the Eagles. They're not gonna beat Dallas.
Is Harbaugh gonna make that much of a difference? Are they really? Why does he think the NFC East is wide open?
If they get help up front and then find an outlet weapon that's not Cam Scatterboo, if they give themselves a good tight end or something.
If we didn't change offensive coordinators every year, we'd be in the Super Bowl. If my uncle had, I'm not gonna say that on. But if there's a bunch of ifs there. If the Eagles start running better than a JV offense, we'd go 14-3. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
Is Harbaugh that much of a difference?
Out of all the teams, I don't think the Giants are going to go worse the first. I don't. I think that their prayer could be for a winning season, but not worse the first. I still think. I think all three of the teams that are ahead of them, Washington, Dallas, and Philadelphia, are extremely better than them. I don't think
know about Washington, man. Washington is too old.
It could be for real, especially with stealing one of the coordinators from here in Philadelphia. So we have to see what they're going to be when it comes down to it. But they're like the Mets. The Mets met the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to fall apart when it comes to December and January, regardless.
So Jack won 4 games. They won 4 games. What are we talking about?
I already said your girl Nikki needs some help, brother. You need.
I get it. Jackson Dart makes people. He sells tickets, right? He's excited.
Jackson Dart needs to learn how to slide.
He will last the whole season if he don't slide. Exactly.
I wish he could
Gatorade out of cleats, right? Malik Neighbors is really, really good, but once again, there was 3 first-team All-Pros. 2 of them play for Philly. 2 of them out of the first-team All-Pros, right? Blankenship and those guys in the back end, you cannot beat the Eagles if you cannot score every quarter. Jackson Dart, he ain't going to make it in 2026. I don't know who told him, hey, man, they ain't hit me that hard. All right, they're going to knock your whole soul out your body. Then they're going to knock it out too. So I understand exciting doesn't mean winning. That's not the same thing. You can be very exciting, man. You play for the Giants, biggest media market in the world. You won 4 games. So I don't with Kayvon Thibodeau.
Like this, her post was about a team going from worst to first. I don't think there's a single team that had the worst record in their division is going to be a first place team this season. I don't think there's going to be a single one.
Not unless you got a coach. Coaches will win games consistently in the NFL, not players. You got to have a coach. What is the culture of the Giants? They the Giants. They what? Like Eli Manning is in consideration to be a Hall of Famer because his last name is Manning and he beat the GOAT twice. What about in the regular season? Some of this stuff is crazy, man. And he was a part of the 04 class with me. I like the Giants. Now, what they really trying to do is my Titans. Look. The NFC South was won at 8-9. That's who won it. 8-9, 8-9, 8-9. So you're on mute. You're on mute.
He's not on mute for whatever reason. We can't hear him again.
You can hear? Oh, okay.
Because I just looked to see if he was. I'm like, no, he's not on mute.
And guess what? I've heard a little birdie that said Kyler Murray might be a Jet this offseason. I could be.
Man, here we go.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean,
Marvin, like, I don't get excited about it. Look.
Nah, I mean, Kyler would be, an upgrade. I think he's a good player. I just think we have leadership problems, and I hate to say that. I think we have leadership problems, and until we figure that out, I'm watching the Patriots, hire a new head coach, and within 1 year they in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
that probably hurts too, right?
Man, that crushes me. It crushes me. The Jets. Listen, I went hard for my boy AG. I love AG as a player. Never met him. I never met him personally. All I see, he seems like he's a real solid dude, man. But Kyler Murray, I don't think Kyler Murray fixes all of our issues.
I'm not saying he fixes it. I'm just saying
I would take him though. I would take him because we have a decent O-line. We have a running back. We have a receiver.
Y'all got how many? Hold on. Y'all got 2 first-round picks from Indy, right?
Yeah, we got.
They got
some
2.
draft capital.
They got 2.
We got draft
what
capital.
What y'all got for Quinnen?
Our D lineman, I forgot what we got for him.
But 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, it may have been the first. I forgot what it was, man. But we got draft capital.
Y'all got a lot of bargaining chips in this first round. That's all I'm saying. Y'all got some money. Y'all got a little maneuvering capability.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Part of me, I don't know if Jacoby Brissett would be the better pick while we try to figure that out because we're not gonna get Fernando Mendoza. I think the quarterbacks maybe next year in the draft maybe I don't know.
Mac Jones? You want Mac Jones?
I would take Mac Jones over both our guys now. Over
Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor.
Yes, yeah. And I like
Justin Fields is not going to be a Jet in 2026. They're not doing that. They're gonna eat that money. It's only like $10 million though. They only gave him like $10 million.
He holds the ball too long, man. He be acting skittish, and I was rooting for Justin. I like Justin. I support the brother. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't it. And I hate it breaks my heart to say he ain't it.
Yeah, man. Look at a certain point, Marv. Listen. Once again, we have an agency called the Common Sense Competition Committee, to where we just give you common sense. We're in the meeting. We're saying, Justin, everybody walk out. Justin, listen, we love you, right? That ain't it. That ain't it. So
Now we were talking about this high school a few weeks ago, right? We were talking the AMGM Academy. I don't know how true this is, but reports are that the high school, basically known for the best town in college football, has been fined $1.7 million by the U.S. Department of Treasury in foreign assets control for having links to the Mexican cartel. Wow. IMG's in some deep trouble right there, Marvin. I mean, we were literally just talking about this team, 2 weeks ago, if that?
Yeah, that's listen, this is like a damn Netflix movie. You know what I'm saying? This is unbelievable that you got the cartel. Who would ever think that there's a story where the cartel is linked to paying the tuition for high school athletes in South Florida? You know what I'm saying? And listen, with that said, you wonder how they're able to get all the top talent there. You got a lot of states that got NIL for high school. I think Florida's one of them. So if you backed by the cartel and you want to get some kid out of Arizona, get some kid out of Washington, get some kid out of
you think he coming? Oh, he coming.
Yeah, you're gonna get that kid.
Yeah, you gonna get that. I mean, look. First, listen. First phone call is, I don't think my son want to come. I don't think you heard me. What? Oh yeah, he'll be there. You notice they said Mexican drug cartel. They didn't say specifics. I'm not giving you a name. You got to be careful.
All right, Luther's trying to fix this. Let's see. Can you wait? No, his mic's on mute.
Let's see.
Steve, I'm on a tight one today, baby.
What about now? Can you talk, Luther? Talk.
Hear you.
Oh, nope, still nothing.
Yeah.
Technology loves us today. I swear to God.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to try to get Luther back on here again when we can fix the audio issues on top of everything else. You gotta love how life goes. But yeah, I mean, hearing that is just one of those crazy things. Like, Marvin was sitting there saying, this is like, one of those Netflix specials that you just.
And I'll tell you what, Steve, I really hated it because I subscribed to some of their newsletters, and I'm looking at my son like, boy, you may need to go to IMG. Now I'm just like, no.
Son, listen, everything I told you about IMG, just forget about it.
Literally.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. I'm like you, Marvin. Now, in good conscience, I'm like this. Dude, even if, obviously, we ain't getting funded through them, my son will be down there, but I don't want him a part of, man, I don't want my kid is a suburban, my kid don't know nothing about struggle. Like, it ain't even, that's like LeBron taking his kids back to Akron. Daddy, where we at? That's where I grew up. Really? You live here? Yeah. When we going back to the jet? We finna go back to the jet. Just, you know what I'm saying? So, IMG, please be careful. Because let me tell you something. I ain't telling y'all how to run y'all business. I'm just saying, just be careful. That's a lot of cheese too, boy. What, 1.7 mil? All right.
Man, oh man. Well, last few topics before we let this one go. One of the it's list season, it's mock draft season. I know this isn't a complete list; it kind of skips around a little bit here. I think we're all in agreement. Fernando Mendoza is going number 1 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders, right? We were just talking about the Chiefs, and they got our boy Jeremiah Love there from Notre Dame going to Kansas City. Looks like that they might fix their running back situation. If he falls to Kansas City, that's going to be almost as crazy as Jalen Carter falling to Philadelphia a few years ago, right?
That'll be a steal. I mean, Jeremiah Love, woo, man, that kid is nice. He's nice.
And they got your Jets going David Bailey, brother.
Yeah, Bailey. He went to Texas Tech, not Texas, but he was a really good player and pass rusher. I think he came from Stanford. He transferred from, and I think he had like 10 sacks this year. He was a good dude. I would take that. Him, Carnell Tate. Maybe Jeremiah Love if we trade Brees. Jeremiah's the real deal. He ran for 200 yards on USC like it was nothing.
Yeah. And they got my Eagles going to get a lineman, which I'm not completely against. You're going to have to replace Lane Johnson at any point in time over the next 2 years. There's rumor that Landon Dickerson could possibly retire. I wouldn't be surprised if they do 2 offensive linemen, considering how shaky the offensive line was this past season.
Never have enough good O-linemen are like DBs. You can never have enough good ones, man. You always want to have 5 starters and 2 or 3 fill-ins that can play like starters. Yeah, that's enough and bolts of your entire organization. If your O-line, the last 2 Super Bowls said it all. You can throw all those. If your O-line can't block that D-line, you can't win. That's literally how the last 2 Super Bowls were won. So all that cute stuff, it comes back to the trenches.
They say defense wins championships. The championships are won in the trenches at the end.
You look at Seattle, people. It's straight up. They ran the ball and they play defense. Again, we get into all this cute offensive guru and Sean McVays and who can get this guy open. These dudes played 1950s football to win a Super Bowl. They ran the ball and they played hard defense, and that was it. And the quarterback didn't turn the ball over. That's it. Like that's the recipe. That's the game plan. But we make this game so sophisticated and so complicated, and it always comes down to 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yep.
Listen. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all about to piss Marvin off. Marvin, I get so sick. Just run the ball. Don't listen. The fast way to point B right north and south, right? Just get north and south. And if they can't block us, they can't win.
Yep.
Drake made it was like, how many players did they have on defense? They had 11. No, they didn't, man. They had like 14 guys out there. I promise you. It was everywhere. Crazy, man. Crazy.
Oh man, we always tend to find ways to kind of continue these talks. Obviously, we got at least a good month or so before we start talking. Getting real deep into the NFL draft. But we did have some sad news this week, as we found the passing of Temple alum, Washington Commanders alum Trey Johnson passed away this past week. I believe there was actually a few more passings in the sports world as well. But guy that young, like I said, it's tough to see. We've talked about it way too much already over this past year already. I mean, hell, we just lost another major actor in Robert Duvall this past week. Everyone remembers him from The Godfather. I still think my favorite movie of him is Days of Thunder with him and Tom
Cruise, Cold Trickle.
So, Shelly, we got one more for us when we were just talking. I do remember.
There you go. Hey, touche, Shelly. That's right. You're right.
Hey, listen to Trey Johnson, to the Johnson family. Our condolences. Football. Let's say this. Most football players do not know each other. We know of each other. Like we don't know each other like that. But every time one is lost, it feels like one of your brothers is lost. Our condolences go to his family, and man, just making sure that you're taking care of yourself. I think the thing about being a former pro is when everything's done for you, and you got to do it for yourself, you got to be intentional about it. Just be intentional about, I think for players, before you start talking about the physical aspect, man, therapy is a real thing. It ain't nothing wrong with it. Go talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody who's neutral, because the only people who can understand pro athletes is former athletes. We understand each other. Go talk to a therapist. Just so you can make sure, because you got, we come into the league by ourselves. When after that, we got families, man, wives and kids, people that depend on us. So, in the words of Marshawn Lynch, take care of your chicken, take care of your mentals. Got to do both, man, because you want to be able to live a long life. Because you want to be able to. You go from chasing kids to hopefully chasing grandkids. Hopefully, you live long enough to do both.
One last one. Obviously, we're down to the last 30 games in the NBA season this past week. That VJ Edgecombe became the third Sixers NBA Rising Stars MVP. Are the Sixers the surprise team so far this year? Obviously, we still got 30 games to go. They do have three of the bigger stars in the NBA with having, Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey's an absolute superstar right now. I don't care what anyone says. But the fact that they're not completely falling apart and we're at the midway point of the season, are they not a surprise?
Yes.
And the process.
They haven't fallen apart yet. Okay.
The process is finally working, Steve. I don't know.
No, don't say it. The process hasn't worked until they get to either an NBA Eastern Conference Finals.
All right, so can the 76ers take the Philadelphia fan base love and say, look, didn't happen with the Phillies, didn't happen with the Eagles. It's on the 76ers now to go to an Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh boy, if that's what we're hoping on, you're gonna sell a lot of alcohol in Philadelphia this year.
I'm just saying, man. I think we'll see if they can. With the thing about the 76 is always the same thing year in and year out. Do you have consistency and do you have sustainability? We know you got talent. Can you maintain it? Can you sustain it? And can you be consistent in doing both? We will see. I will be watching. Because Paul George, Still trying to figure out what you got suspended for, guy. I'm still waiting to see what it was. You got suspended for 25
seconds. Yeah. Don't hold your breath. I don't think they're ever really going to say. But I am honestly surprised. I thought just how the last few years went that there would be no chance that they would even make the playoffs this year, and the fact they are sitting where they are, you're going to have a fresh and healthy Paul George after his 25 game suspension's up. Going to have him in relatively good basketball shape going into the playoffs, I think is an important thing. I still think you have to manage Joel Embiid properly, but VJ Edgecombe, I think for all intents and purposes, I think he's going to be the rookie of the year this year. I know we still got 30 games to go. A lot can happen in 30 games, but I like his chances. I think a lot of fans owe him apology because there was a lot of fans upset when they made that pick. A lot of people thought they were going to use that pick and parlay a trade to go get another player to compete. I'm glad that they didn't. I'm one of those people that owe VJ an apology because that's exactly what I thought was going to happen and should have happened. Now that you have another guy in the backcourt with Maxey like that, and you had to put yourself in a position where you could trade your previous year's pick, gives you in a nice position. But we'll see what happens over the next 30 games. I have to see it in April. If I'm seeing good basketball from the Sixers in April, then we can say the process will be complete.
So, are you telling me that Philadelphia 76ers fan gonna tell Ben Simmons we forgive you now?
No, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. It's so bad. All right, listen. We were just talking about Nick Castellanos. You just seen what happened with Nick.
Is Ben Simmons the most hated Philadelphia pro sports player ever? Is he the most hated pro sports Philadelphia player ever? Ben Simmons?
He's probably on the list.
He's on the list.
He's definitely up there because
rightfully so.
I mean, what? He was the number 2 overall pick and just
he was the number 1.
You talk about stealing money, boy. You talk about
Ben Simmons was the number 1 overall pick. Hold on, making sure out of LSU.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where he was great on the back end playing defense. I thought he was a great assist guy. Just the fact that he could never find his shot, and then the most egregious one was the playoff game. He's underneath the net. All he had to do was lay it up and in, and they win the game and potentially had themselves in a position to go to an Eastern Conference final. Passes the ball, turns it over, and they wound up losing that game. I think is one of the reasons why I think if you talk about everything now, why he's probably is one of the more hated Philadelphia sports figures. I think the other one on top of that is Chip Kelly. He may not be.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. That's number 1. Chip Kelly's he's number 1. He's number 1, number 2, number 3. He's the top 5.
You got DeMarco Murray with the non-contract sign, and then he wound up going out elsewhere. That was another one. Oh no, that was Frank Gore that did that. I'm sorry, that was Frank Gore.
I forgot
He's
about
not here in Philadelphia. Then all of a sudden he did it and went to Buffalo.
Chip Kelly, good God.
So I mean, we got a lot of culprits for that here in Philadelphia. But
he's the most hated 76ers of all time. Like they can't stand Ben Simmons. Like they don't want to hear about the word process. They're not allowed to say it in schools. They're not allowed to say it around town. They ain't allowed to say it. You don't want to hear it.
No, we don't want to hear it, but it's for all within its reasons. But another fun one in the book, way over the time I usually want to go in. Parting thoughts, Marvin.
Parting thoughts. Listen, football is over. This is my time. I mean, you're talking about the Sixers and stuff, and as you were asking those questions, I was telling myself, Marv, it's time to dive into basketball. They just had the All-Star break. So I'm serious. That's how I go about it. The Super Bowl is over. We're at we just had the All-Star break, so now I kind of got to get into NBA, and hopefully I can do something to get my Lakers into the playoffs and make a historic run. Those are my parting shots.
Ben, your parting shots for today.
To those of you that got so much to say about myself, Marv, and Steve, get you a podcast and shut the hell up. Y'all got a lot to say. Get a podcast. Like, that's what we do. We come on here, we get what's on our mind off our mind, what's on our chest off our chest. And I'm going to tell you what I had to tell my lady sometimes. Just because you think I'm wrong, don't make me wrong. You think you wrong. That's not true. We're giving our takes, right? And public service announcement. I'm the CEO and founder of the Common Sense Competitions Committee. I might be showing up to your place. And Marv saying, if you want to win football games, run the ball, play defense. All that cute. Because what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan till you get punched in the mouth. Plan go out the window.
Yep.
Punch him in the mouth. Over and over and over again. Yes, sir.
Another fun one in the books, guys. It's always a blast. Sometimes it just feels like 2 hours fly by like it's nothing when we on here on the Fan in the End. So,
Right.
What was that, Marvin?
No, nothing. I'm running. Go ahead.
All right. It's again, like I said, love sitting on here with you guys. As Ben said, we get what we went off our chest. We talked about all different types of things today. Michael Jordan, the Olympics, all of it, and it's always fun. We'll see if Team USA wins this year's Winter Olympics in about another week or so. I think they'll be able to do it. We've been dominating the Olympics over the last 10 years or so. So I expect a win. We'll see how it all plays out. But again, we're going to continue to have fun here on the Fan in the End. Non-football season or not, we always find a way to kind of have fun, make fun of these silly lists that these people come out with. Again, guys, you got to put some respect on Donnie's name. The fact that you have Michael Vick over Donovan McNabb is beyond me. Michael Vick was a game changer. Don't get me wrong, but Donovan McNabb was, I still think, one of the more underestimated quarterbacks over the past century and a half. It's just
okay. Steve, second parting shot. I don't have a problem with them putting Vick over McNabb. I have a problem with them putting Randall Cunningham over McNabb. But we can talk about that later on.
I know y'all Atlanta boys like to stick together.
I live in Atlanta.
He's LA. That man is LA. That man is LA.
He's LA, but let's be real. His
matter of fact, no. I'm sorry. Let me say it the right way.
Steve, I wasn't trying to prolong the show. I got to go. I'm just saying I had to let you know.
He ain't an LA guy. He's a SoCal. You got SoCal and NoCal. He's a SoCal guy. I
want to get Marvin out of here because I know we all got to run off and do our things. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Appreciate all the comments in the chat today. Big shout out to Shelly Van Brocklin for the comments. She was engaged a lot with us today. Want to give her some love. Other than that, we will be back. I'm sure Marvin will be on tonight and Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday and continue doing the things.
I got 2 more tonight with the South Florida Tribune. 8 o'clock.
So he's doing triple duty. You got to let him enjoy the downtime in between that.
Yeah.
But as for us, me, Marvin, Ben, appreciate for everyone tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the rebound. Peace out, my friends.